We welcome you to another live edition of The Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Good morning. Week 15 on The Sports Box. NFL Sunday. Brian Attard, Anthony Emilio, Drew Tremmel drinking a wonderful beverage this morning. I'm jealous. I don't have one in Hamilton. Lot to talk about today. We don't normally get a chance to review 4 games, but in this case we do. And we're going to get started with a topic near and dear to Drew's heart. And in a really weird way, in an extremely masochistic way, Drew was enjoying every minute of that Thursday night game because he kind of felt what would happen afterwards, and it kind of did. The Los Angeles Chargers took it on the chin. And when I say took it on the chin, I mean took it on the chin. 63-21. And it was probably not that close on the Thursday night game. Raiders go from scoring 0 points last week to 63. Aiden O'Connell, 20 of 34, 248 and 4 touchdowns. Easton Stick, which is a great hockey name, 23 of 32, 257 and 3. Chargers then fire head coach Brandon Staley and GM Tom Telesco the very next day. Drew, the floor is absolutely yours to say whatever it is that you want to say. But listen, you've been waiting for this for quite a long time.
You want me to talk about the greatness of great?
Let it out. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Listen. Here we go. Yeah, I love you. Thank you for showing up. Brian, I love you. Thank you for showing up. I wish Quig was here because Quig would be going along with me. That was a beautiful game on Thursday night. That is what I was looking for. That is what I needed. I told people, let the main thing be the main thing. Let Brandon Staley lose his locker room, which he had a long time ago, and players just were playing that role of, being a teammate and not letting things slip out the door. I have heard rumblings from people that I know that are inside that people, including Derwin James himself, is infuriated with this organization, with the whole J.C. Jackson thing, and then with the whole schematic things with Brandon Staley. That's okay. Friday morning is where Brian should have let off this banner, because that's when it came. See, this is the Bible, and I've been praying for this for a very long time, and the fact that Dean Spanos, and I wish we had my game-winning drive meme that I would use all the time, the fact that he has some type of balls and was able to give us a 2-for-1 by firing Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco, our former GM, on the same day, I would have lost so much money because I would have never bet that. The Chargers historically don't fire the coach till after the season's done. It hasn't happened in 25 years. So I was shocked by that. But when I got the news and Brian texted me personally and said, "Merry Christmas. Christmas came, mother effer, really early for me." And I am so excited. I am happy. We get to turn the page. I told my wife, "You might be pregnant after Friday night." And you know what, dude? This has been news that I've been waiting. I know you guys can chime in a little bit later. I just want to say this. Then I'll let it go. I just want to say this. I will always be a Chargers fan, just like Ant will always be a Bears fan, just like Brian will always be a Cowboys fan. I'm loyal to the soil. I'm loyal to my team. I will always be loyal. My dad raised me as a Chargers fan before he passed away. I would never walk away from just the Bolt, right? Because it means a lot to me. But just because it's a new chapter and a new day, Brian and Ant, doesn't mean that everything else is going to turn. Things still need to change. There still needs to be a culture and a leader of men. I'm here to tell you guys that I pray and I hope Bill Belichick isn't the head coach. I don't want him. I don't want him. I already heard sources saying that, the Patriots are now backing off, or is it still going to happen or not? I think it's going to happen, but I pray that he doesn't come over here. I don't want him. What I want is either Harbaugh, which I think is a long shot, but it's a good shot. If he leaves Michigan, he has ties to the organization, being a former player for the Chargers, and he loves the state of Cali. And I think this might be the perfect move for him. This is a chess piece that he's been looking for in his coaching career. We all saw him witness what he did in San Francisco. It was a miracle what he did in San Francisco. I think he could do that here in LA with the Chargers. The second thing for GM, and something that I'm going to be pushing, and I'm going to use this clip, and I'm going to take this clip and put it on TikTok, is the GM that I'm looking for is Louis Riddick. I don't know if you guys know who Louis Riddick is. Mm-hmm. Louis Riddick is a former player, analyst on Monday Night Football, and he has an eye for talent. He doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He used to be a commentator for Monday Night Football. If you listen to how he talked about the game, the techniques, and what he looks for, and this and that, that's what I want. That's what I want. Not only that, guys, I want to see a black man lead, get a GM role and lead, and let's see what they do. I'm sick and tired of the turn and push and turn over. It hasn't worked in our organization. We've had AJ Smith, we had Tom Telesco. Both AJ Smith at least tried to do stuff, but he has such a horrible character that's why it didn't work. Tom Telesco is an everyday guy, but it didn't work. He had no backbone. He couldn't hire the right coach. This and that. He had a lot of issues with Tom Telesco. I want a GM that can do everything, Bri. And I want to see it happen for my team. Just like Ant wants to see a lot of things for the Bears. I want to see that for my boys. So, it's a great day. It's a beautiful day. It's been a beautiful weekend. I told the wifey, you don't need to give me any more presents. I got what I needed. Don't even trip. It's honestly, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Now we just need to continue that losing. I also want to say one more thing, Brian. I know you're giving me this platform. I don't want to keep talking. I want to say one more thing. I think I may have been wrong about Kellen Moore. And the reason why I bring up about Kellen Moore, who's our offensive coordinator, if that rumor is true, Brian and Ant, if that rumor is true that he refused to be the interim head coach, he's a bitch. And I'll say this on Sports Blog. You should want to, if you're the first choice from his son John Spanos. He's the president of football operations. I'm pretty sure the whole Spanos family wanted him to take the interim head coach because that's a tryout for you, bro. That's a tryout for you to see if we might want to give you the full tag. If you're declining it, bro, then I don't want you in my organization because you don't believe. And that's fine. Get out of here. I don't want that. So if that rumor is true, I have issues with him. And so that's not from a schematic standpoint. That's from a personal gist that I have with him now. Because you're leaving your players behind. Your players count on you as a coach. Whatever coach, step up. He's not stepping up. So that's an issue for me. But I'm pretty sure we'll get more information as the weeks go by, Brian. But other than that, man, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, boys. Cheers to you. Cheers to me. Let's make history.
Well, I think if you can, you can't fake this, and I can tell the joy in your voice, right?
I mean, it all works out too. I mean, the quarterback gets injured, but I mean, it's not a serious injury.
No.
So I mean, we're just it's over for the season, so it's all panning out. You got an early Christmas gift. The guy was getting fired anyway. So you might as well just do it. I mean, immediately after that game. I mean, geez. But yeah. So you got what you wanted, Drew. So congratulations.
Yes, sir.
And let's get that top 5 pick for the Chargers, and turn this thing around. The talent's there. I mean, Telesco got the talent there. It's just it just seems like there was never. I mean, the Chargers are just known for blowing situations. Like, it's just insane. It's like insanity because it just keeps being repeated.
My issue with that, and we might need to have a whole topic about what makes a good GM, because that's been a debate since Friday, right? I mean, if you're like Jerry Jones, right? Jerry Jones, who was that center that he drafted in the first round that people were laughing about him? Travis Frederick.
Yeah.
But remember, people are like, oh, well, he jumped the gun on him. He could have waited a little bit. Come to find out, Travis Frederick was an all-pro center that absolutely destroyed the game, right? I bring that up because it's like Tom Telesco and a lot of picks that he's done, it's fell in his lap. Like, you know what I'm saying? He really didn't do the work. He did the work, but it's like Derwin James falling to him at 15 or 16, which no one thought that would happen. That's an easy pick, right? And I remember Mike Galletta almost popped his vagina because Derwin James passed up. They got Vita Vea, I believe, that year, which was another great pick by Tampa Bay. Justin Herbert, he fell in his lap, right? He didn't have to make the decision between Tua and Justin. Justin just came to him. Joey Bosa, I think Joey Bosa or who's the corner? Who's the corner for Miami? Jalen Ramsey. That was a debate between the two because the Cowboys wanted to go Zeke.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm saying, so we evaluate draft picks, we evaluate free agent signings, we evaluate trades, and we evaluate coaching hiring. He sucked at coaching hiring. He did good in trades, but at draft picks he's missed. He's missed on several first rounders. Jeremy Tillery from Notre Dame, bad, horrible pick. Quentin Johnston looks like a bad, horrible pick when he had Zay Flowers and Jordan Addison, who once again torched yesterday with 2 touchdowns, and with Justin Jefferson on the field. I mean, it's just I could go on and on and on. There's a multitude of things, but I think the biggest thing for all three of us that we all definitely could agree on: 11 years that he was a GM, only 3 postseason appearances, only 2 playoff wins. Not going to get it done. Coaching wise, he hired Mike McCoy, he hired Anthony Lynn, he hired Brandon Staley. All 3 first-time head coaches. 1 offensive coordinator, 1 guy was a running back coach, and the other guy was a defensive coordinator for only 1 year. And he was a defensive coordinator guru because he had Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. So I mean, it's a lot of things, dude. Also, one more thing I want to say is that Brian was right, and I'm going to come on here and I'm going to say Brian was right. Me and Brian had an argument a couple years ago when he lost that game to the Raiders, and it was on him. That was the week. That was whoever won that game was going to go and play. I believe it was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers got in as a result. Yeah.
Who is it that? Oh, okay. I'm not going to remember, but
yeah,
that I should have listened to Brian there. He definitely, both of them should have been fired after the Jaguars game. But Brian was right. I got to push back on it and agree with him. And I was wrong. Just like when Dak wins MVP and wins the Super Bowl, he's going to come on here and say, Daddy was right. So it's just a multitude of things. But yeah, man, it's a great day, bro. I don't want to keep talking about the Chargers. I'm just happy.
Well,
it's a new day. Well, hopefully the new search will happen and will happen and turn it into productivity for the organization.
Two things real quick. If the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, it's because of their defense. Number 2.
Such a hater.
Number 2. So the question is, is this the most attractive opening in the league or potential opening? And to me, I think it absolutely is because of the guy under center. The problem behind it is the Los Angeles Chargers at this moment find themselves $42 million over next year's salary cap. And there's a lot of work to do. you can restructure Joey Bosa. I don't think they let him go. That'll save about $10 million. Now you're at $32 million. You start talking about cuts, post June 1st cuts. I don't think Mike Williams will come back. Mike Williams,
he's gone.
$20 million by getting rid of Mike Williams. Khalil Mack, 23.2 saved by getting rid of Khalil Mack. Corey Linsley, 11.5. So it's not that it's not doable.
Well, how did the Corey Linsley work, Brian? Because it's a health issue. So if he retires, do we get that money back?
I don't know how that actually works. What actually really hurts them is that J.C. Jackson's $20 million dead next year. Like that contract really. And again, so we talk about Tom Telesco, we talk about accumulation of talent. Yeah, if you overpay guys, sure, you'll find your way to get there. But they have 38 players on the roster next year under contract and 42 million over. They got a lot of work to do to get that to where they need to get to. It may take a year.
That's fine.
But to be fair, Drew, in 25, they have $112 million open.
Yes.
So it's 1 year, right? Like you hate to say it could be a transition year with that quarterback, but it could be a transition year with that quarterback. And you talk about the idea is maybe you just have to like let dead money go. It's just let's see what we do, and then really go for it in 25 when you have all the money in the world to do whatever it is that you need to do. And that includes Herbert's deal at 37 cap.
Yep. Right, and that's what I'm saying. What I think is very important. The Chargers are going to have such a big decision, and that's why I can't wait to talk about the offseason because obviously Anthony season was done since the first damn whistle of the season started. We just didn't know it yet. Hey. I know you have a chance. I know. But what I'm saying is top 5 pick, right? If we're projected to get top 5 pick, Brian, and who knows if those bottom teams below us start winning. I don't see us winning at all. But if we get into the top 3, right? If we get into the top 3, let's just play devil's advocate. That is such a perfect and prime position for the Chargers because you know what's going to happen. Teams are going to jump up and get a quarterback. And if we can get up there, the capital that we can get for our future in draft would be just out of the world. That's exactly what you need for a team that already looking at 2024 and saying, okay, we just got to get through this year. We got to get through this year. And then the sky's the limit, right? So they're going to have an important decision to make because if they face the decision with Marvin Harrison Jr. is on the board, which can happen, Brian, from all the reports that I'm reading and all the things that I'm seeing, if the Chargers get the 3rd pick overall, the 4th pick overall, the 5th pick overall, a lot of teams can be pressed on passing up a receiver because they already have a couple good receivers on the team. It's going to be very interesting, Brian. Very interesting if they sit at 5 and they got Brock, Marvin Harrison, or trade. I hope they trade.
Or Napier.
That's true too.
He's just as good. Trust me, he's a beast.
To me, though, it is certainly the most attractive job. I still think. I know Drew's not a fan. I still think if Belichick wants it, he gets it. But at the same time,
he can't be GM.
No, that's fine.
And that's the package. That's the package.
I know. That's why I don't want him.
That's the package. You get it all.
He can't draft though.
He can't trade either.
But I just give me more of that glow. Just tell me like just how the birds are chirping a little nicer. The sun. You're in California, so it's not even winter.
It's cold.
What's cold to you? I want to hear this. What's cold to you?
Well, obviously it's not cold to you, but it's cold to me. It was 35 the other day.
Oh, wow.
35?
Wow. Okay.
At 5 in the morning it was 35. Right now it's like 42, 43.
Might be warmer here.
It might be warmer here. That's actually kind of fun. now that you mentioned it, right? Yeah. Again, it's like we say all the time. Losing is winning. Everything worked out. It's going to be a great offseason. Again, it's going to be a process for this team, but they've started that process early, and I think that's that's good. Eileen, good morning. We're all not doing as well as Drew. Drew's having a great day. Having a great
morning, boys. Having a great morning. Great weekend.
Despite the fact that this team lit up 63 points.
I don't care. It means nothing to me. I don't care.
One second here.
Guys, we had football yesterday.
We did 3 games on a Saturday showdown. It sounded like a WWE event. And in the first of those games, the Cincinnati Bengals break up the Bengals 27-24, a win in overtime over the Vikings. Got Jake Browning playing well at quarterback, 29 of 42, 324 and 2 touchdowns with a pick. Nick Mullins, 26 of 33, 303, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Jordan Addison, big game, 6 for 111 and 2 scores. And Joe Mixon, 10 for 47 on the ground. So, you know how bad the NFL is, guys? The NFL
really bad,
so bad that both of these teams are 500 or better.
That's amazing.
It blows my mind. Minnesota 7-7, and a quarterbackless team Cincinnati finds themselves 8-6 in a playoff spot. So when I say the NFL stinks, believe me when I tell you, the NFL stinks. However, Zach Taylor, huh? I mean,
yeah.
Again, do I think they should be winning games? No. Having said that, they've peeled off now 3 in a row at the Jaguars, the Colts at home, and now Minnesota, and they found themselves in the position to make a playoff spot. Now, are they going to make a run? No. Is it counterproductive? Yes, but they're also winning these games, and if you want to give them credit for that, I think it's a good way to give them credit for that. I mean, they were down. Yes, they were down in that game. Could have easily just said, "Oh well," not so much. At the high, Minnesota had a. You know how they do that win probability? When it was 14-3, Minnesota had a 92.1% chance to win that game. Not so much.
Yeah. We're seeing a lot. We're seeing a lot of weird football this year. It's been a weird year, and shouts out to Taylor. Shouts out to the Cincinnati Bengals organization for not giving up. It's inspiring what he's been able to do with Drake Browning, and I believe that sometimes having that chemistry builds and it translates into a game, and it translates into everyday practice, and it translates into the organization. They believe in each other. It's a solid organization over there in these last couple of years. It's a great turnaround, and even though you have Joe Burrow out for the rest of the year, this kid Browning, man, stud, absolute stud. He's killing it, and it's been the year of backups, gentlemen. It's been the year of backup quarterbacks this year. We're seeing it over in New York with Tommy DeVito, making Daniel Jones $40 million want to throw up in your mouth by how he's playing. And
can I interrupt you for just 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Eagles have downgraded Jalen Hurts to questionable after his sickness worsened overnight.
Oh boy. Well, he's got one more night.
No.
Of course, they flexed that game.
The flex actually ends up helping him.
That helps him. Yeah. So yeah, listen. I'm not going to talk more about it. What the biggest thing that I'm looking at is that it looks like it's a change of guard at running back for the Bengals. Chase is getting a lot of carries and a lot of production time, snap counts. So that's a big thing I'm looking at. The other thing is that the Cincinnati Bengals are in a peculiar situation in the offseason.
Some kind of flu or something, Eileen.
We saw a showing of T. Higgins yesterday. What are they going to do with T. Higgins? It's going to be very, very, very important to see what they're going to do in the offseason with him, because I think Carolina's knocking at his door.
As far for me, I mean, I didn't catch a lot of this game, Brian, yesterday. It was such a nice day here in Jersey. I was out on the golf course, so I was just scrolling on the scoreboard. Looks like lots of action was going on. I saw the highlights. As far as the Bengals, I mean, it just shows you, how much talent's on the roster. They're a legit football team. And, if you put a capable guy back there, he can run the show, hold the fort down, and he's doing more than that. 300-plus yard games. I mean, looking really good. So, props to the Bengals and Taylor on the coaching job. For the Vikings side, unfortunate loss. They needed to win that game, and they couldn't get it done. pretty much that's it. But Brian, I saw something yesterday online. We're always talking about quarterbacks. So from 2008 from 2021, there were 29 quarterbacks drafted in the top 10. So here's a list of the 13 busts are Mark Sanchez, Jake Locker, Gabbert, RG3, Bortles, Winston, Mariota, Trubisky, Darnold, Rosen, Jones, Wilson, and Lance. Franchise quarterbacks were Matt Ryan, Stafford, Lawrence, Newton, Luck, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert. Very good. Goff, Tua, Kyler. The 4 that started for multiple teams and were overdrafted: Mayfield, Tannehill, Bradford, Wentz. That's why the NFL sucks. Right there.
What was he watching?
Those guys. So we're always talking about drafting quarterbacks. Nothing is guaranteed. Note to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Think about all those names just rattled off. The percentages, very low hitting.
But what happens in the NFL, like I said, because of the position, is these guys get inflated up. Like they're willing to take a shot. So by the way, did you see T. Higgins' mom on Twitter?
Yes, she was roasting people. That's great.
Drew, did you catch this?
King Kenzo was asking for it.
Jeez.
She went in on him.
At Monster Kenzo.
She went in on him. I'm going to flip this over to the Minnesota side of things, right? And again, the NFL is absolutely terrible, and the Minnesota Vikings are in a playoff spot right now. And they've used 4 different quarterbacks this year. 4. I asked Tom Brady how many quarterbacks the Vikings used this year. And you know what he said? 4. Okay.
Right, and that's without really a running game. I mean, they just got this guy Chandler involved, and he's putting up some numbers, but the Vikings had no running game this year. They're just they're like you said, 4 quarterbacks. It's pretty amazing how they got 7 wins. It really is.
I mean, but again, if you look at the Vikings schedule the rest of the way, right? I'm going to load it up right now just for argument's sake. They get the Lions, the Packers, and the Lions. Now, again, that's going to be interesting because they're going to decide. The Vikings are going to decide who wins the NFC North, whether it's Detroit or not.
Yeah, if they could have pulled out that game yesterday, that put them in a really good position. And they couldn't pull it off. Yeah, they blew that 21 points.
They blew it away.
Quarter. 21 points in the fourth quarter.
I mean, but that's Minnesota.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
They added several shots. They added several shots to get in.
Yeah, I don't think it's very likely. But listen, I mean, it's again, look, they were a fraud last year at 13 wins, and maybe this year they're a fraud at 7. But that's the NFL. Because even in the NFL, you can be, Gardner Minshew, and you can find your way into a playoff spot, even though your team had the 4th overall pick last year, right? So Colts go up and they win 30-13 over the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are just falling apart. Minshew, 18-28, 215 and 3 touchdowns. Mitch Trubisky, 16-23, 169 and a touchdown with 2 picks. Pittsburgh's dropped 3 straight, 4 of 5. Indy's won 4 straight, 3 on the road. These are 2 teams that are going in very, very different directions. From the Pittsburgh side of things, we kind of predicted their demise a couple of weeks ago. That seems like it's coming to fruition, and Tony's not here for a victory lap. It is what it is. They're not good. Not that Kenny Pickett was that good, but the guys behind him are literally on fire in a dumpster.
Yeah. This game is more about the Steelers and what's going on with the Steelers. I mean, it's a disaster. Trubisky, obviously, it's Mitch Trubisky. I know what he's all about. So, like I said last week, I didn't think it was between him and Pickett. It was almost even. So I didn't see the offense doing much more. I think the locker room's totally lost. I think it's a real issue right now. I mean, you're all over Twitter. You got George Pickens, guys picking him out on plays, not doing anything. So I think the team's really just throwing the towel in. It's going to be interesting what they do with Mike Tomlin. I don't think they'll fire him, but I mean, geez, the ice can't get any thinner right now for the Steelers. It's bad.
Listen, it's a terrible look for the Steelers. It's an absolute terrible look for the Steelers. Sorry, my headphones are out, so you're going to hear my son slurping his cereal in the background. Let's get into it real quick. I don't think it's a Mike Tomlin issue. I think it's a GM organization issue by drafting Kenny Pickett and relying on Kenny Pickett.
Sure.
When you have a franchise quarterback or someone that can transcend to wins, transcend to production with the talent that they have on the outside and in the backfield and on the line, you're going to have issues, and that issue's trickling throughout the entire team. You saw yesterday Mika Fitzpatrick's face. I haven't seen a player like that with that talent so let down. I know he got hurt because of his knee, but we saw his comments last week after they lost. You know, there's no one who wants to step up. That whole quote, I don't know if Brian could pull it up in a meme, but that whole quote was definitely directed towards the organization and towards Pickens. You could read it in between the lines there. So what the Pittsburgh Steelers have to do is they got to get rid of that cancer, dude. They got to get rid of that cancer, and they also got to get rid of the fact that Kenny Pickett is not the guy. And I saw a tweet from one of the NFL.com guys, and he brought up a good situation, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers talking to the Chicago Bears to get Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. And if that's something that could come to tuition, I think Chicago really needs to sit back and consider and weigh the options of where they're at when the season is done and where they're drafting, because it's going to be very important. Obviously, they're going to get the one with Carolina, completely, sucking ass, and so that's good for Chicago. Now that decision is going to have to be made in the offseason. That's going to be the main topic that everybody's going to want to talk about. Besides who wins the Super Bowl and who's going to go and be our champion for the league. It's going to be, is Fields going to stay a Bear, or is Justin Fields on the way out? And I think that Chicago is going to have a very hard decision to make when it comes to that, because we know that Justin Fields is entering his 4th year next year, which means they have 2 more years until they have to sign him a deal or sign him now, where he's going to be relatively cheaper. So I love it. For me, I know it's going to be tough for him, but I Pittsburgh Steelers has been one of the teams all year since Kenny Pickett's demise that they've been rumored to trade for Justin Fields. Does it happen? Do they make that move? Because let me tell you something, Chicago Bears defense, since they got Sweat, has been one of the best defenses in the NFL, Brian. Mm. And they're playing great football on the defensive side. Justin Fields is still doing his thing. I still think he needs help on the offensive line. And he needs a number 2, because I don't think Darrell Mooney's the number 2. I put him down as the number 3 now. And they got an emerging tight end. Once again, Cole Kmet is killing it. Mm-hmm. And maybe a backfield issue. I don't know, but I think they could make the backfield a little bit better. But overall, man, I like what Chicago's direction is going. The just question is, Brian, what do you do with Justin Fields?
I think it depends on the offers that are coming in. If you can get really good value, I think I'm fine delaying it a year, because I think they're going to be bad again next year, right? I mean, or you get more around him again, and if he really can't do it, then you have next year to do it, because you're going to get multiple ones. You're going to have 2 1s again next year if you make a deal like that.
You might be able to get 3 1s this year.
But I mean, if you're coming from one, go ahead.
Devin White for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers not playing today, and it's not injury related. It's a team issue.
That's good. The Steelers have not been under 500, LA, in a very, very, very long time. So, I mean, Tomlin may want out. I'm actually hearing rumors Tomlin wants out himself. So that situation may resolve itself as a result of that. But as far as if you're the Bears, I mean, look, if you get a good offer, again, weigh it out, right? What offers do I have for the quarterback? What offers do I have for the pick?
Yeah, it's exactly what you said, Brian. I agree with you. I think Tullen might want out.
Yeah. I mean, look, Pittsburgh might be headed into the pit of despair. So, like if you're gonna walk right now,
we see it all the time. It's what happens when you strike out. It puts the organization behind. It really you take a lot of steps backwards when you miss on your quarterback.
You know what? Hey, Drew. If Mike Tomlin's available, you in?
Yeah.
1,000%.
I was gonna say.
Okay. That would be number one.
Okay. I was gonna say you're probably diving in head first on that one. Right?
There you go. Yeah.
Listen, it's the feeling that you get, right? And the feeling that you get is this is going to end poorly for them.
Yeah, of course.
And again, if Tomlin's the one that decides to go, then the Steelers are under this. Well, we don't fire coaches. We just did for the first time since 1940 something when he fired Matt Canada, right? So it would not surprise me if Tomlin's not there for whatever reason you pick. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it really wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. And again, if they're looking to make a change of quarterback, I don't know. I think you could bring in a different head coach, which would bring a whole different thing. I mean, I don't think Belichick would go there. Still the Steelers. I don't know. I think, again, I've been calling for their demise for a while because I just look at them and I was like, I don't really think they're very good. We'll see. Speaking of teams that are not very good, the Denver Broncos led 42 points last night, mostly to Sam Laporta. 42-17, the Lions get a win. Goff, 24 of 34 for 278 and 5 touchdowns. Gibbs, 11 for 100 and a touchdown. St. Brown, 7 for 112 and a touchdown. Montgomery went for 85 yards, but Sam Laporta, 5 of 56 for 3 touchdowns. The Denver Broncos, gentlemen, have 6 touchdowns on the ground all year, and 3 of them are by Russell Wilson. That's not a recipe for success. In fact, Sutton's really the only guy catching touchdowns through the air because Jerry Jeudy is just a guy with just 1 touchdown caught this year. From the Detroit standpoint, I mean, I think you have to feel pretty good that you seem to be getting back on track after a couple of weeks where it didn't seem like that was going to be the case for you. The Denver Broncos, I think, needed a win. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're going to get that win. But look, I mean, you're getting 5. I mean, that's not the Broncos defense has been good, right? So if you want to start looking at what did Goff and this offense do against a good defense, you have to take that and say, okay, all day. The Lions had lost 2 of 3 into this game, including to the Bears last week. So I think you needed this performance going again. You got two division games left, home and home with the Vikings, sandwiched around a game in Dallas. Game I thought that the Lions both teams actually really needed it for different reasons, but the Lions obviously get the win here. I don't know. I will get to my question about this team, but what are your thoughts on the Lions right now?
As far as the Lions, I mean, you can just tell that at home they're a way better team at home. So it looks like you get that feel that they're a faster team. It looks like the guys playing at home are more comfortable there. Really, this Lions team, it's the emergence of Gibbs. I think the last 3, maybe the last month of the season, he's really emerged, and this team's really explosive offensively when he gets going. Opens a lot of things up. You notice their play action game is so good with St. Brown and my man Laporta starting off my playoff weeks. Excellent night. I mean, he just looks like a mini Gronk out there. So I mean, I've talked about the Lions all year. I've been high on them. It's they're going to be a tough team. They're going to be there. I really think they need a home game. They don't travel when they travel outdoors in a different environment, cold weather. I think they're a different team. So that's what concerns me with the Detroit Lions, really. And their defense was buzzing last night at home. I mean, they gave Russell Wilson a hard time all night. He was under pressure, getting hit. So, yeah. So, I mean, like I said, it all depends who the Lions match up with in the playoffs here and how the path goes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I gotta disagree with Ant. And I disagree with Ant for this reason only. I think the Lions are pretenders. Big game for them last night. Big win for them. It's at home at Detroit. I'm more of on the case of I was wrong about the Denver Broncos. I thought the Denver Broncos going to be one of those teams that, and they still could. I think they'll win these next 3 games in order to get in. I had them going 4-0 on this stretch, but it's not going to happen now. And I don't know if they're going to make it in or not, but we'll see. With the Lions, my issue with the Lions, Ant, is their defense. Their defense was buzzing last night, but I think against a team that is more capable of being an offensive juggernaut, because Denver Broncos is that type of team. More balanced. Yeah,
they
exactly.
Didn't run like Brian talked about. I mean,
I know
Denver Broncos all of a sudden don't run the football.
I agree with you. And,
I don't understand it at all.
Yeah.
I agree with you. So I mean, it's and I got to give kudos, bro. We got to give kudos, Brian. You got to give kudos to Russell Wilson for all the crap that we've given him, for all the crap that he's gone through in his life outside on social media and all that stuff. For him to take the hard lessons of coaching from Sean Payton. By the way, dude, he had never yelled at Drew Brees like he's yelling at Russ.
First of all, that
is crazy, dude.
That whole sequence down at the goal line was
terrible.
I mean,
terrible.
Why don't they challenge at least one of those plays?
Javonte got in.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
I don't know
who's up there in the booth. It makes no sense, and then they get screwed on the offsides. I mean, how do you even call that? So the Broncos got hosed right there. I mean, they weren't going to win the game, obviously, but
no.
But I mean, the way things went down there, and then he starts. So I'm interested to know what really happened there. Was a play changed? Was something?
He was yelling at him.
That whole sequence was a disaster. I mean, Sean Payton, the coaching staff should take that one because someone has to throw the flag on one of those plays.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, they got out coached, they got outplayed.
Yeah.
And they got Denver Broncos, they have a lot to work on the offseason. I think Sean Payton with another full offseason is going to make them a dangerous team next year. I really believe that. They have to get capable receivers to help Russ because Jerry Jeudy has been a disappointment. Cortland Sutton
their offensive
line is an issue too. I agree. I just they need identity. They need balance, like you said, Ant. They need balance, and I think Sean will fix it. I mean, Denver should 1-5 to now they're 7-7, Brian. So I mean that's kudos to them for what they've been able to do. But I'm still not on. I'm not Brian and Ant. I am not on that Detroit Lions train as I was 8 weeks ago. I don't see a consistent contender in them, and I have to see more from Jared Goff in the postseason, which we'll see in the wild card round.
Yeah,
because they're going to play I think they're going to play the Packers,
and that's not a good draw.
Nope.
But if they,
But do you feel as though are they being disrespected to not be included with the top 3 in the NFC? They are. They're all 10 wins right now.
No, they're not better than those 3 teams.
Yeah, I think a lot of people look at them. Yeah, they're just not as good. They're
not good.
They're a drop below those guys.
Is it because they are who they are, or because they're the Lions? Like, is some of that?
They are who they are.
Okay, you know what I mean, though.
I get what you're saying.
I'm guilty of that too.
I get what you're saying. I'm not that type of. Listen, man. I'm a true realist. I look at teams for what they are, not what their past was. I can get 2 cracks with the Lions being 0-16 or whatever the hell it was, or Dan Orlovsky running and getting a safety because he ran outside the end zone. It is what it is. It is what it is. I go year by year by teams.
And all these top teams in the NFC, I mean, they've all stumbled throughout the year.
Yeah.
So I mean, to say, oh, Detroit stumbled, let's knock them down. I knock them down because of the erratic play of Goff. You know, it's you don't know what you're going to get here, every game. So that's my reason. But I think all these teams have stumbled. So throw it all on the Lions for stumbling against the Bears and the Packers. I mean, division opponents. I mean, it's kind of a little harsh.
Of these teams, they asked this question on NFL Network actually earlier today. Wow, Tyreek Hill is inactive.
Fuck, I got Tua going, but I got Tua and Waddle.
Take
in my
two
lineup,
out.
I don't have I can't play. I have no other options. So I have no quarterback. I have no other good quarterback.
Tyreek
the
Hill.
number one guy in our team has Tyreek Hill and Tua in my big fantasy league.
Well, I got Waddle.
Yeah, Chris Olave too. 2 receivers out for him.
I think we'll all agree that of the 4 teams, if you want to count, the Lions probably need the home game more.
I think if the Lions would play the Eagles at home at their place, I think the Lions have a real shot of winning. Them coming to Philly though is I don't know.
All the talk you're gonna see is home field for the 49ers. No. We don't need to. I mean, no. The Niners are way better. The Cowboys are way better, and I think the Eagles and Lions are just. I think the Eagles are a notch above them. I'm not big on the Eagles, but I respect them for their trenches, their trench play, their O line and D line, and all that. So, no, there's no disrespect to those Lions. It's just 3 teams are better than them.
They are. I mean,
Who's they are?
They are better than them.
The 3?
No, I mean, I think that there is a delineation in between the teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's accurate. So we'll take a look at the playoff picture. I'll add this here, and I'll remove our logo so we can actually. You don't really care. Actually, I'm going to remove all these. We're covering nothing of value, so it's perfectly fine. So we'll start on the left side with the AFC.
Yeah, please.
How about the fact there's 11 teams 500 or better?
What the NFL wants. That's what the NFL wants. Exactly what they want. Everyone's in it.
Are you saying that's good or bad, Brian?
I'm saying it's awful.
That 11 teams are above 500?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because everybody stinks. There is a 1-win difference between 3rd and 11th.
I like that. Parity.
With a passion, I hate that.
No. You can't compare everything to the NHL.
The NHL is actually worse at this because there's teams that get points for losing when they lose in overtime.
I was thrown out there to take a dig at you. I don't know anything else. I don't know how NHL works, dude. So
he has answers.
I don't mind that. But okay, so AFC. I think are we comfortable that the division winners win their divisions?
The top 4 teams?
Yes.
8-5.
Baltimore is 2 wins above Cleveland with no quarterback.
Yeah, no, Baltimore's safe.
Miami is 2 wins above Buffalo.
Nope, they're not safe.
Not safe.
Not safe. I'll be the first one to tell you, I have the Buffalo Bills winning out the rest of the season. I have them beating the Cowboys today. So I think the Buffalo Bills will win the title. Brian, I think the Bills play the Miami Dolphins last, right?
Last game of the season, they do.
Yeah, I think that's gonna decide the division because they have already beaten Miami this year.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have the edge, obviously, when they beat them in the last week of the season. So I think they'll win out. Who does Miami have after today? I know they got Baltimore coming up.
Yeah.
The Dolphins schedule the rest of the way is not
brutal.
So they host the Cowboys Christmas Eve.
Loss.
They go to Baltimore.
Loss.
And they host the Bills.
Yeah. So they're going to be what, 9? Who are they playing today again?
The Jets.
Yeah. I had them losing the Jets today. They're going to be 9-8.
They're going to finish with 10 wins.
They're going to finish 9-8.
9. Oh, yeah.
Drew
You
said-
think they lose to the Jets today?
Yeah. I
You
do.
think the
I'm
Jets
picking the
beat them
Jets
today?
today. Huh?
You think the Jets beat them today?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
No Tyreek Hill is a game changer.
Yeah, it is.
The Jets
It
are
is.
bad.
Not on defense.
I believe in the MILF Hunter.
I mean, I agree with Drew on this. I mean, I think it's like the consensus of the country too that the Bills are going to somehow find their way into the playoffs here. The Dolphins' schedule is brutal.
Brutal.
We know their history against legit football teams. You know, they haven't contended at all. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm going to jump on this Bills bandwagon with everybody. And I think they're going to jump in. I really do. So, yeah, that's the one team that should be concerned. I mean, with Denver's loss yesterday, Kansas City could have been concerned if the Broncos won that game. So with that Broncos loss, it gives Kansas City a little relief because believe it or not, I don't think the game they have today is going to be. I think it's going to be more difficult than people think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I mean. And to see the Bengals there, I think the Bengals. What's their Bengals remaining schedule, Brian? I'm interested to see.
They have Baltimore and Pittsburgh, I believe.
You got them in Cleveland. Cleveland's going to lose today. So
the Bengals remaining schedule. So the Bengals go to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
They go to Kansas City.
Ooh.
Win
They
loss.
host the Browns.
All right. So they have a tough little stretch right there.
They might finish 9-8 as well, just like Miami.
Yeah.
There's so much bad football.
I mean, this is what the NFL wants. Guys like us trying to pick all these scenarios that need to happen. So I mean,
yeah,
it's working out for.
But you know, but here's what
you can't predict injuries, Brian.
You can't.
A lot of injuries to star quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen, right? Is all of these teams are like so tight from like 5 to 10 or even 11. It's going to come down to the dumbest tiebreakers ever.
And it's going to get, you know what it's going to do?
Hey, bro.
You know,
it's going to be like,
it up.
It's going to be like, well, you know, the Bengals were the team with the best third quarter point differential, so they get in. Like, it's going to be the dumbest stuff. It's going to be like,
it goes head to head, and then from head to head.
When there's all these ties together,
I know when it goes to ties, it goes by division record.
Yeah,
it doesn't go by point differential, dude. It's division record.
And you know what? All it really does is give some poor franchise false hope. Because they made the playoffs.
Oh yeah, we were the playoff team last year for
that too. That too.
You lost 8 games last year and you made the playoffs.
You know, I was going to ask if Tyreek Hill could get 2,000 receiving yards. No. Not anymore.
Impossible.
Right, here's what I want you to do. Give me your AFC division winners first. Are we on agree? So I think Miami is fine, personally. I think they win.
Okay.
So I think the 4 that you see are the 4 that you get. Who has a difference of opinion?
I do.
You think
me and Drew are going to be on the Bills bandwagon.
Wow.
I agree. Brian, I agree with you. The North, the West, and the South are locked. Especially with CJ Stroud not playing today.
I was going to say, yeah.
Brian, you have that much confidence in the Dolphins after seeing how they play teams that are really good?
So, okay.
I don't have confidence in Miami.
Hold on. Well,
even if they win today, they'll be what, 10-7.
They get into 10-4. Okay. Then they get Dallas at home.
And
Dallas is a very different team outside of the friendly confines.
Brian, stop. Brian,
they are.
No way Tua is going to have time to throw the ball and do what he wants to do against that Cowboys vaunted defense. It's not happening. That's why I think he's going to struggle today against the Jets. You saw how the Jets played last week. They got some fire up in their ass. And so and Zach Wilson played great football last week. And when I say great, I'm being great for him. So, I mean, it's just there's no way I would feel confident right now if I'm Miami. They got Dallas and they got Baltimore.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
With Hill nicked up.
All right. So if Miami gets to 10, Okay. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to disagree with me. Buffalo does not need the game today.
No, they don't. Not if the Dolphins lose.
No, even if the Dolphins win, they don't need the game today.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
because
you're
they
right.
would get to 10, right? If the Dolphins only win this game and lose the next two, they would have 10 wins. The Bills would have 9. If the Bills beat the Chargers, they will. The Pats, they will. So as I said, both teams would be better off if that Week 18 game didn't mean anything. It's probably going to mean something, right?
Oh, it's going to mean something, brother.
If Buffalo loses today, gets to 7-7, and then they get to 9-7, and the Dolphins are 10-6 into that game, Buffalo already beat them.
And it's in Buffalo. No, it's in Miami.
Well, my point is that becomes the AFC East Championship game.
I love that. I love when that happens.
Again, you're gonna pick the Bills, and I'm not gonna say. Well, we'll talk about that.
Brian, who do the Bills have next week and the week after before Miami?
The Bills have the Cowboys today at the Chargers. They host New England. They go to Miami.
Yeah, those are 2 wins right there.
Right. Okay. So you can lose today, and it's not the end of the world, as crazy as that sounds.
1,000%.
That's why I have a feeling. So I'll tell you this: we're gonna get to this game. I would tell you that the Cowboys need it more than Buffalo.
I see where you're going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Cowboys have to win games because the Eagles' schedule is easy.
And the Niners.
And
everybody.
Niners. Yeah.
It's kind of funny to say this. It's just football's so stupid.
Why are you so bothered?
It's so stupid because it's I don't know. It's like a backwards like the coaches poll. Like there's so much stupid stuff going on. Like everything just changes. Anyway,
Buzz, what can't you see?
Can't see Jets beat Miami. Says.
Yeah, explain to me what can't you see?
I mean, I have the Miami money line in a parlay today. So if I lose money, I'm going to blame the two of you. On the other side, well, actually, let me take this back. So, all right, we agree on 3 of the 4. Give me your wild card teams as of today, any which way.
I gotta see it.
But this is the okay. So, all right, do we agree that Buffalo or Miami, whoever does not win the division, gets a wild card?
Ooh.
Are you really going to pick a potentially a 9-8 Dolphins team? The Dolphins are not losing out.
I think they will.
Oh my god!
I think they will.
That would be catastrophic.
That would be catastrophic.
I think the Dolphins are going to go 0-4.
Oh my god! They're going to lose 5 in a row to end the year.
Yeah. I thought they won last week.
They lost to Tennessee last week.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up one more time.
They're going to lose 5 in a row. Oh god! I can't.
It's going to look bad for Mike McDaniel.
No, they're not going to lose. They're not going to drop 5.
Yeah, but see that's the problem. I don't know how.
4 of those.
I don't know the tiebreakers. I think Miami's going to go 9-8. I think Miami's going to lose 9-8. I think the Bengals are going to go 9-8.
Okay,
I think the Colts are going to go 9-8. The Texans are going to be 9-8.
I know.
It's going to be hard.
Here's why they're not going to lose to the Jets today. Because if you think they're going to lose to the Jets and the Cowboys, that means they're going to lose 3 consecutive games at home.
Okay.
I don't see that happening.
You're acting like it's hard to win in Miami. Miami's not Arrowhead.
It doesn't. You're not going to lose 3 games at home.
Why not?
You're just not.
Why?
Who on Miami hurt you?
I don't trust their team.
Okay. Right.
What team? If you want to use the narrative, the Cowboys have been used against them all year. What team have they won that's above 500?
I'm gonna disagree. Okay, well, let's play. All right, here's their schedule.
They haven't.
They beat the Chargers. They beat the Patriots. They beat down the Broncos. They got destroyed by the Bills by 28 points. They beat the Giants. They beat the Panthers. They lost to the Eagles. They beat the Pats. They lost to the Reds, to the Chiefs. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Jets. They beat the Commanders. They lost to Tennessee.
Come on, man. Now one team there is a contender, especially the Broncos when they were 1-3 at the time, or 0-3, whatever it was.
Hold on. Whoa. Listen, they held a team to 13 that just scored 63. Okay, so let's just put that out there. I don't see them losing 5 straight. I don't see them losing 3 of 4 at home. They beat the Jets today again.
You cannot tell me you can see them beat the Cowboys and you can see them beat the Ravens. There's no way that you see it, especially the team with the Ravens that need that first seed bye.
That's going to be a great game.
I don't think it's going to be a great game. I think they're going to get their asses kicked.
So I'll tell you this. If you think the Cowboys and Ravens both beat them, they really need that win today against the Jets, and they're a huge favorite. I think
that's why I said they're going to lose because they're going to overlook the Jets.
Okay.
That's a division game.
Well, listen, we don't advocate gambling on this show. Yes, we do. If you think
you mean Ant does,
the Jets are plus 260 to win today.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there.
Sprinkle, a little sprinkly.
All right. Sprinkly.
All right. Right hand side. There are 3 teams that can win. Oh, just want to. Buzz says 31-17 Fins. Tom Scavetta, our boy. Devin Singletary or CEH? Is death an option?
Pierce is playing.
Who are the Texans playing?
Tennessee.
Yeah, the problem is you don't have CJ Stroud, no outside threat. Banged up Texans offense. I'm gonna go with Kansas City, CAH.
I lean that way.
I have to lean that way. I have to.
FanDuel favoring Devin Singletary on anytime touchdowns, which leads me to believe he's going to get some action. So I would maybe go with Singletary here because to be honest, on Kansas City, I like McKinnon today.
Yeah. Okay. On the NFC side.
Wait, do we pick our wild card teams?
Oh! Go ahead.
I'll pick them real quick. I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna go with the Indianapolis Colts, and then my third tiebreaker, just because of what happened to CJ Stroud, and I think he was really jacked up. I'm gonna go with it's a tie between the Texans and the Browns. I'm sorry, it's tied between the Browns and the Dolphins. I think eventually it's gonna go to the Browns. So I had the Buffalo Bills taking over the South and or the East, and then I had the Browns, the Bengals, and the Colts. But see, I don't know how tiebreakers work.
Drew, I know. Yeah. A lot of this you're doing blind. I get that.
Because if in Miami, what's their division record? I can't see it.
Miami's division record is
3-1.
3-1.
6-3.
6-3 in the conference.
So it goes division. So how it goes is heads up, division, and then conference record. If I'm correct, if it's division, they'll be 3-2. The Browns are 3-2. The Bengals are 0-4.
0-4. Yeah.
All right, take the Bengals out. But they might have the wins though. So it's hard to tell, Brian. I can't pick.
The Broncos could still sneak in.
Where the Broncos
schedule?
at?
They're 7-7.
Yeah, but they're 2-2 in the division though.
Steelers 3-1 in the division. They're not going to find any wins though.
Yeah, they're not going to find. They're staying at 7. Who's Denver playing the next 3 weeks?
The Denver Broncos. Let's see.
A division game at the end of the year.
Probably. The
Chargers.
The Broncos go. The Broncos go to they host New England.
Okay.
They host the Chargers.
Okay.
They go to the Raiders.
Okay. I changed my mind. Broncos will.
No, come on.
Broncos are going into the playoffs. They'll be 10-7. You said the Bengals have the Steelers next week?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 9. Broncos, Bengals. Okay, F it, dude. I'm getting tired. Broncos, Bengals, and Colts. Browns are missing out.
I'm gonna keep the Browns in there. I'm gonna go with the Browns, Colts, and I'm gonna do Miami.
That's gonna be hard, because the Denver's gonna have 10 wins.
I don't know.
Those 3 games are easy.
Ask me in week 16.
It's hard. It's hard to pick, bro.
Okay. I want to go on record. I don't like any of these teams. All right, so I got 2 wild cards.
Be easy.
I got 2 wild cards, right? Because I'm picking the AFC East loser gets a wild card. So I got two because I'm picking the. I'm leaving the.
Gotcha.
AFC East loser gets a wild card. So I got two spots I got to pick. Yeah, I tend to agree with you that the schedule helps Denver. Denver's going to win out. Denver gets to 10. That's going to get them in. Man,
You got one more.
It comes down to Stroud's injury at that point, right? Because
it's a concussion.
I know.
Correct?
Well, so Houston. Well, even that though, Houston's got the Browns next week.
Where
at man.
Where's the Browns game?
But then there's the other. But if you look at the Colts, right? You don't know what's going to happen with their running back position. You know what's going to happen with Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
He had a big, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but their offensive line is one of the best.
The Bengals. I mean, the tiebreakers.
Well, it just real quick. Go to the Browns schedule.
So the Browns at 10. They got the Bears at
win.
At Houston.
Win.
Host Jets.
Win.
At Bengals. That might be a playoff game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, it's hard, bro. It's hard. I tried to do this the other day.
All right, so
you might have to delay this till week 16.
God, I'll go today, and I'll change my mind when we're done. I'll go Denver. What's the Raiders schedule?
Oh my God.
No, okay, they're at Kansas City. You're out. All right.
Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
All right, I'm gonna go Colts and Broncos. Give me the horsies on both ends.
So you got Colts, Broncos, and AFC East loser.
Yes.
Second place, Sky.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't feel necessarily good about that.
Buffalo's 2-2 in the division. Okay.
Okay. AFC and NFC.
This is gonna be easy.
I just want to go out there. I think the Eagles are terrible.
We know.
I'm going to say something here that is going to come back to haunt me. The San Francisco 49ers will not lose a game for the rest of the season and postseason. They're going to win the whole thing. They're going to win every game the rest of the way. So I think that's just my take.
That's it? That was your mic drop?
I think the Eagles end up with the 2 because I think Dallas screws up somewhere. And I think that the tiebreakers all go to Philly. So Philly gets the 2. Detroit gets the 3. Tampa gets the 4. Cowboys get the 5. Again, I think it's setting up. See, the problem here is, look, if you're Detroit, you do not want to see Green Bay at all. Like, at all. And if you see Minnesota, you're going to have seen Minnesota 3 times in 4 weeks. Right?
Yeah.
So, I think of the teams that really need home field the most, I think San Fran needs it the least of those teams, of the 3 contenders. Dallas could use it. Man, I don't see Philadelphia going to San Fran winning a game. I don't see Philadelphia going to Dallas winning a game. I can see both of those teams winning in Philadelphia. It's not because I hate the Eagles. I do hate the Eagles, but I'm being as objective as I possibly can. The Eagles look like a shell of themselves right now. Two back-to-back. I mean, I think the shines come off them a lot. If Hurts can't go tomorrow night and they lose to Seattle, now that's all right. So my wild card teams in the NFC East loser gets the 5, and then God, what's Minnesota's schedule? Oh, they got the Lions twice. Yeah, Minnesota's out.
Yeah, that's why I have Minnesota out.
I think Minnesota's out.
Yeah.
I listen, before the year, I said the Rams. The Rams have so the Rams have Washington today. They have New Orleans next week coming there. They go to the Giants. Those are 3 very winnable games. That gets them to 9-7. The Niners might not even need the last game.
But do Green Bay schedule.
It's not. It's no. Green Bay might also win out, but I thought they're coming in the last week. So Green Bay's got Panthers, Vikings, Bears, Bucks, Panthers, Vikings, Bears.
That Viking game is going to be huge for the both.
So my 2 playoff teams at this. Well, let's see how to win tomorrow night. Packers and Rams. Not necessarily in that order, but Packers and Rams.
I'll go real quick. Yeah, for me, it's pretty simple. You knocked it out the park. The two things we need to look out for is the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, and who's going to win that division. I can understand your argument that Dallas needs this game today, because if Dallas wins today, and Philly just by chance because Jalen can't go tomorrow, which I think he will against Seattle. That's not only big for Dallas because that gives them a game, but they also own the tiebreaker, which can go into week 17. So Dallas remaining schedule, I know they have Buffalo and I know they have Miami, and I think they have the Giants again. But today's a big week, dude. Today's a big week for Dallas. And today's a big week because seeding matters. Because if I'm Dallas, I don't want to be a wild card team traveling around everywhere to go. And
hey! I got you make me take my banner down.
My brother.
What's up, guys?
God, you haven't been on here since
what do you owe the pleasure?
Oh man,
dude. You're like the orange guy from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with that beard on, big dog.
I saw you guys on. I said, you know what? Let's get on today. Let's have. I'm up early. Sunday's normally my sleep-in day.
What do you mean you're up early?
Listen, man, Kayla gives me grace on Sunday. She lets me
I'm
sleep
up early.
About football time, man. So it's nice.
Brother.
You know?
Love you, bud.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. So I'm just gonna finish up. I think it's a big game today. All of us would agree, seating wise, that Dallas doesn't want to go through that wild card road.
They do not.
Right? They don't want to do that. They don't want to be the 5 seed and go and right. And I mean, we talked about it before. You don't want to go and travel and play. Honestly, Brian, we know who they're going to play. They're going to play the 4 seed, which is going to be Tampa or New Orleans or that. They don't want to do that, dude. They don't want to do that and go and travel and go play Philly. Right? Or go play San Francisco again. You want the 2 seed. The 2 seed gives you more options, and it gives you at least 2 home games. So, it's very important. But I agree with you, Brian. I'm sticking with Green Bay as the 6th seed, and then I'm going to stick with the Rams as a 7th seed. Seattle Seahawks is my team that's going to be out.
Alex, I'm going to give you one question. It's a one-word answer, very simple, and then we're going to move on because you're coming in late. Do the Browns make the playoffs?
Yes, unfortunately.
Listen, I will allow the second word as a qualifier, so that's fine. All right, couple quick hits before we get to the games today. Number one, as a shock to no one at all, as not on this show, Aaron Rodgers expected to be medically cleared to play in Week 16. It will depend what happens today. Drew seems to think the Jets are going to win today, which would mean Aaron Rodgers is going to play next week. Again, I've said it for a couple weeks. I feel it's all his ego. He wants to be the one that comes back the quickest from a quarterback position with that injury. God bless him. I don't think it makes any sense at all. Whatever, but that's the expectation. He's going to get cleared.
Yeah, I think you and I agree on that, Brian. I mean, it's so ridiculous that they're even, as the franchise, even considering putting them back out there with really nothing on the line. So, yeah, this is strictly ego for Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, to me, this just lets me know he's playing one more year, and that's it. Like, for him to chance this, like, if he ruptures it again before the end of the season, he's done. He's retiring. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I agree with you that it's all ego.
Yeah, it's ego driven because he wants to prove to the naysayers and the doctors that you can come back from an Achilles injury in the shortest amount of span time and play in the professional league. I think if he came back and play with it, because the Jets just came out today, the Jets lose today, they're out. They're out of the postseason. They're eliminated from postseason. So obviously, I think it's a slap, Brian. I think it's a slap to organization's face and to his teammates if he plays. For what this franchise has done, I'm basically the head coach, Robert Saleh, and the GM are betting their lives, right? Their work lives on Aaron Rodgers coming back and being a productive star for their, because the argument can be made that he's the face of the franchise at 39 years old. So I mean, you can't put your franchise in jeopardy by making this decision. So he needs to heal up and he needs to get ready for 2024 because they have a lot of options to make that team really good around him next year. So, yeah, I don't know why he's coming back.
Well, I mean, even if they win out, they still could miss the playoffs. That's what's the dumbest thing in the world to me is that you're chancing a career-ending injury for a second time, essentially, right? Because a lot of people don't come back after Achilles. So, okay, cool. You're healing. You're good. You feel great until you play one game. Let's see what happens. Like, I think the worst thing in the world is for the Jets to win this weekend.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Real quick hit on this one. Only 6 AFC quarterbacks have started every game. Tua, Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, Trevor, and Russ. Everybody else has had problems. So the year the backup quarterback, I was thinking about this morning. I feel as though you're going to see teams actually place a higher priority now on backup quarterbacks, just in case. Because if you lose that guy, it's kind of what the Eagles did originally with Wentz and Hurts. Like, I don't think they actually brought Hurts in to be the new Wentz. They brought him in because Wentz had some problems, like staying healthy. So they needed that backup insurance policy. I think you're going to see more of that happen where people are not going to just have a clipboard holder back. Like somebody who can actually come in and actually like again, look what Minshew's doing. Look what a lot of these guys are doing around the league. Like I think you're going to see a higher
I think it's going to it's going to extend some guys' careers like Flacco. I mean, there's something to be said about having somebody competent behind your starter, right? So Flacco is not 50% of what he used to be, but he knows how to read defenses. He knows how to go through progressions. He's a professional. I think you're going to extend some older guys' careers through this by having a competent backup now. You're not going to just put a guy in there that's been in the league for 2 years that you don't trust when he comes in to play for your franchise guy. So
yeah, I disagree with Brian with your take with the Eagles. They knew that Carson Wentz was the absolute head case that had lacked leadership skills. So we can debate all we want, but Carson Wentz is one of the biggest jokes ever to be considered a quarterback. The next thing, everything else in between, I agree with. Yeah, I think we saw it a couple years ago when the New Orleans Saints guy was making over 15 mil. I forgot his name, but
Taysom Hill?
No, the other one. The one before that with Drew Brees.
Chase Daniels.
Chase McDaniels. Yeah.
Chase Daniels. What about a guy stealing money?
He's made like almost $70 million in the NFL. The Bears gave him a shitload of money.
Backup quarterback's the best position in the NFL by far, dude.
You're either a hero or
you're beloved by the fans, right? You're beloved by the fans, right? Yeah. You could do it better. Everybody thinks that, right? So it's great.
But yeah, I mean, if you win, you're beloved. If you lose, you're supposed to lose.
and you make a ton of money to just watch film all day and then carry around a clipboard.
Yeah, be smart. Know the playbook.
I can do that. I'm 5'9", $190.
Yeah. Brian can read a playbook.
We'll start to, ironically enough, with the appearance of a Browns fan, this matchup is now in the bottom of your screen.
Let's go.
The Cleveland Browns at 8-5 host the 5-8 Chicago Bears. Cleveland's -3. The over/under is 37.5. The quarterback Justin Fields leads Chicago with 458 rushing yards. Congratulations, third most among quarterbacks. Cleveland, the number one total defense in the NFL, 263 yards. Number one pass defense, 159.7. I asked Stu Feiner his thoughts on the game.
Fuck the Bears! Fuck Chicago! Fuck you!
So, this does not bode well. Well, here's the funny part, right? You can say that the Browns have a great pass defense. It's not going to matter because the Bears don't throw the ball.
Run the ball.
It doesn't
the whole
really
game.
come into play. Alex, you're a first time, long time on Sunday morning, so I'm going to give you the floor while I hit the little boys' room for a second.
Sure. Yeah, I think the Browns are going to have a tough game here. I'm a little torn because obviously I'm a Justin Fields fan. He's a Buckeye, right? I thought he was going to finally turn the perception around about Ohio State quarterbacks. I think he's a legit quarterback now. They designed an offense around him like they did with Lamar Jackson, which I think is a mistake. Now he's a very competent runner, but he also is a very competent thrower of the football. And now that he actually has a wide receiver that's a true number one target, I think you're starting to see him get into a groove. And I think it's going to be a tough game for the Browns. I honestly do. I think Joe Flacco is going to come back down to earth this game. I don't think he's going to throw for over 300 yards in a third consecutive game. And I think we're going to continue. Sorry about that. We're going to continue to keep the ball out of Ford's hand, which is a mistake to me. The guy's averaging over 5 yards a carry, yet we seem to have him on the bench in key opportune times, which just doesn't make sense to me. He's essentially been relegated to a red zone threat, which I think is a mistake. So I unfortunately, I think the Bears are going to win this game for Bears fans. I think it's unfortunate. It's fortunate for me because I would rather us lose the rest of the season, miss the playoffs, and get a better draft pick for the second round. I know our first rounds are gone for 10 decades, but at least we could get a better second round pick and maybe get a key piece since our offensive line has been decimated this year. I think it would be nice to pick up another offensive lineman, even though we've done well. But yeah, I like the Bears in this game. I think the Browns are really confident after last week. And I just don't think Flacco can sustain the success that he has.
Well, I'm shocked to hear that. Be honest with you.
Both of you hate your teams. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, I don't hate my team.
Listen,
I hate the decisions we make.
There's a lot of pain that goes on Sundays between us two. There's been a lot of pain and suffering.
Not as much as Charger fans.
Yeah, I take the pain.
So, listen, I agree with you. I'm going to go with the Bears today. I mean, I think they're improving every week. We talked about their defense. Their rush defense has been top 5 in the league. I used to crush them every week because they gave up 25 to 28 points a week. Now they're not even giving up 20. I agree with you that I think Flacco comes down to earth a little bit today. This is going to be a close game. I only see Cleveland at 3 at home against the lonesome Bears. I'm going to buy that half a point. Give me the Bears 3.5. Justin Fields anytime touchdown. I'm seeing at plus 280 right now. Cleveland's defense is different at home, so that's what worries me today. They're a better defense at home than away. But I do like the Bears. And Brian, right now we stand 2 top 5 draft picks, and we're in the hunt. Who's got it better?
I mean, if you could lose out and you get that number 1 though.
Oh, the number 1 we got.
The number 1's already there.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, if you could stay in the top 5 though with the second pick,
or no, just 2 top 5 picks, and we'll see what happens. Right now, we all know it's an audition for Justin Fields. I think he's gonna make a very hard decision. They're gonna have to make a very difficult decision because he's playing well.
Am I to believe that the Browns, who have lost 1 game at home all year, and it was to Baltimore, who beat the Niners at home, are going to lose to Justin Fields? And am I to believe that? I don't believe that. There's a reason listen. The Browns might win this game 7-3, but they're going to win this game, okay? Because both defenses are very good, okay? So now it's who do I trust more to be able to throw? again, it could be a very low scoring game. It could be a game of mistakes. Who's going to make more mistakes? Justin Fields will make more mistakes than Joe Flacco will.
Brian, Justin Fields hasn't thrown an interception in 3 games.
Good. So he's due.
Joe Flacco's been throwing interceptions. He's throwing some 4 yards, but he's been throwing interceptions. Justin Fields is playing good football right now. I mean, you can't say he isn't. So,
okay. He has. He says it all the time about Dak.
I'm taking Justin Fields over Joe Flacco. Okay. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, we'll see what happens today, but
the Bears.
I have the Bears winning today.
Playing better than Justin Fields.
If the game was in Chicago, I'm with you, but I'm not. If the game's Cleveland, it's different there.
Same conditions. Let's go.
What? Look at Aaron for a Bears win today. This is
we're in the hunt, Ryan. We're in the hunt. We're in the hunt. Top five picks, and we're in the hunt. I'm feeling good.
Oh God. That's funny.
Drew's got the Bears. Drew, did you say you had the Bears today?
Yeah, all 3 of us got the Bears.
Oh my God, the Browns are
You're
winning.
gonna make me the only guy to pick
the Browns are winning.
Just
you could be the only guy on the panel. That's good for you. No, listen. All logical sense says take the Browns. Right? We're at home.
I tend to be a logical person.
We have the better defense. Right? We have 2 legit running backs. We have the better offensive line. Like everything makes sense to take us. That's why I'm taking the Bears. Because Stefanski will figure out a way to make a late game bonehead mistake that he doesn't get ever blamed for, and we'll lose because of a bad coaching decision.
Wait, hold on. Stefanski's the better head coach in this game.
Agreed. But he makes terrible late game decisions over and over and over and over. I don't care. I care about what you do at the end of the game, which costs us wins. We've lost 2 games literally this year because of his terrible coaching in the 4th quarter.
Oh my
2 games. Terrible coaching decision.
I'm not going to get into it. Next game.
It's the battle of the Bays. This used to be a lot more fun when it was Brady and Rodgers. Now it's Baker Mayfield and Jordan Love. 6-7 at 6-7. Green Bay laying 3.5 at home. The over-under is 42.5. Tampa Bay has 2 straight wins. Break up the Bucks. 3 of 5 since losing 4 straight. Green Bay is looking to make the playoffs for the 4th time in 5 years under head coach Matt LaFleur. Although I think the other years the quarterback was probably a big reason why, and he's not there anymore. Where are you guys on Jordan Love? Because I'm of the belief that all of the, pardon the pun, all of the love he's getting right now, I think is just short-sighted. Like, first of all, they just lost to the Giants. Like, I think if you lose to the Giants, you should be, demoted or delegated, whatever. Relegate, that's what I was looking for. And like, he had a couple good games in a row, so, oh my God, it's great. I just think it's too soon, right? So,
Brian, that's not fair. That's not fair because he lost to Giants. It's okay. If that's it, do you think Tua is a good quarterback?
By my definition or the accepted one?
Your definition.
He's not in my Fab 5, so no.
Is in your top 10.
I don't have a top 10. I have a Fab 5.
If you had to have a top 10.
Probably.
Okay, well, you lost to Tennessee Titans. Let's move on. Okay, so with that being said, dude, Tampa Bay needs this game. They want to win the division. But Packers need this game. They want to stay afloat in the NFC wild card. I think they'll be fine, though. I think they can win out the next 3 weeks after this week. I got Tampa Bay winning this game. I'm sorry. I got Green Bay winning this game at Green Bay. My bad.
Aaron Jones is back.
Aaron Jones is back.
I thought they were both
AJ
out.
Dillon's out.
Oh, he's active.
AJ Dillon's out. And also, a thing I need to point out is that you guys ever heard the story about David and Goliath?
I heard it once or twice.
Here we go.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you a story about David and Goliath real quick. David had to use the slingshot to knock out multiple giants. Obviously, which one was Goliath? That's what's going to be today when I beat Alex this week in fantasy playoffs. He's going to lose I'm down 19-59.
He's losing by 40 fucking points right now. Just so you guys know. Listen,
I don't give a
he's
shit.
losing by 40 and he got 19 from sorry ass Nick Mullins.
You are going to
The
get
dude
your ass
I've
kicked.
blown him out by average of 30
I don't
points
give
this
a
year.
shit.
Just to give you a heads
You're
up.
going to lose, you freaking white albino piece of shit. I am going to beat you. That's it.
I got 41 from golf. I'm just saying he's in trouble.
I don't care.
He's in trouble.
I don't care.
I like Green Bay today at home. it's late.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's a question here. I think it's Green Bay. Like with Aaron Jones back behind Love, it changes the entire game. AJ Dillon's a nice story, but AJ Dillon is a backup running back. He's an extra piece. He's not Aaron. He's not Aaron Jones. I think it changes the complete game. I think you'll see the Jordan Love that we saw when Aaron Jones was healthy. And I think it's too early to make a decision on Jordan Love. I don't think you see a lot of promise, and unfortunately Green Bay tends to hit on quarterbacks, right? I mean, they've done it, pretty consistently 3 in a row if Love works out. So I think you got to wait. I think it'll be midway next season before we really know about Jordan Love, like what he is.
Yeah, he needs more.
What he is. Yeah, you just need more film. He's really a rookie right now, right?
He is.
I mean, that like I get it. He's had 3 years in the system, right? But you got to see it's different between playing and sitting and backing somebody up, right?
Yeah, 1,000%. Christian Watson was gone for almost half of the season,
right?
And he's gone now again. I mean, he doesn't have any consistency around him. You can't really give him a full development and a full plan of what kind of quarterback he is, right? I mean, it's hard to determine what he is. He's had no Aaron Jones. He's had a weak running game all year, and he's had no solid receivers around him. The defense is playing great to what they have. But yeah, man, I'm with you. I agree with you.
I wonder how much Devontae Adams regrets going to fucking
significantly
Oakland, or Las Vegas now.
Significantly.
Imagine if he's in Green Bay still, Jordan Love throwing the ball like he's healthy.
Fighting for the North.
Yeah.
I think he would have gone to the Jets when Rodgers went.
I think that still can happen in the offseason.
Yeah,
absolutely can happen in the offseason. All right, so I'm going Green Bay. Alex?
Green Bay. Drew.
Green Bay.
Ant?
I'm taking the points. I'm taking the half point. Give me the Bucs plus 3.5.
Okay.
I think it's
all right. So you got.
We're going by points, and I'll take Tampa Bay as well too.
Oh well, then that's how I roll, Drew.
Let's call it.
I think you got to give it both ways.
Hey, listen, I'm not that impressed with the Packers.
This ain't a betting show. Let's take it straight.
Well, there is an element to it. Actually.
There's people listeling. I give out winners. You got.
All right.
We pay mortgages out here.
I do.
All right. So 3 Green Bay, Tampa Bay. Stu.
It's Green Bay fucking Packers.
That's hurtful, Stu.
Fucking Packers.
All right.
Yes, Stu.
One more thing. Anytime touchdown today on the Packers side, I think is a mini long shot plus 280. Devontae Wicks. Looks, and I think he gets in the end zone.
Dontavian Wicks. Okay.
Dontavian Wicks. Yes.
Brian is Jar Alexander playing today?
I don't know.
Because if not, I'm taking Mike Evans. Anything today.
You could do that.
Rashad White too.
That's a good one.
Big rate hit on his over receiving yards. 21.5 points.
This is a fact. Nobody wants to see the Buffalo Bills in the postseason. That is for sure. And the teams that are around them don't want to see them getting a win either.
Oh, I do.
Especially Miami.
Absolutely, man.
Why?
Josh Allen's a fucking head case, bud. Get ready.
Oh my God, dude, stop. Get out of here, dude. No, not today. Alex, not today. Not today.
Peyton Manning. Meltdown in the playoffs.
Peyton Manning?
Gosh. Meltdown in the playoffs.
Get that.
Choke artist in the playoffs, dude. Choke artist in the playoffs, man.
This game was a lot better when CJ Stroud was playing, but you have an AFC South battle, 7-6 Houston's 5-8 Tennessee, who used to be Houston, if you keep them track. Tennessee's minus 3.5 in this game. The over-under is 48. Tennessee's minus 3.5 because the quarterback is not CJ Stroud. Houston has allowed 95.6 rushing yards per game this year, the 8th fewest in the NFL. Derrick Henry's having a really Derrick Henry is the Mike Evans of running backs.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that comparison.
That's a great comparison, Brian.
League, 10 rushing touchdowns, 4th in the league. He just does it every year.
That
should have been a Dallas Cowboy. Not talking about that today.
That's a huge upgrade in talent for Mike Evans because he's overrated.
No, the numbers are there. It's really hard. I think Davis Mills is starting today. Like, it's really hard. It's really hard to pick the Texans to win a game without the guy who has got some MVP consideration. Good for him, right? I think Tennessee finds a way here because if Houston's gonna win, it's gonna be on their defense. And I like the Nico Ryans a lot, but I don't know that that's gonna be enough today.
Well, they're banged up on defense.
Without CJ Stroud, the Texans are not winning another game the rest of this year. Like, it's going to prove my point that he's the MVP. Like, without CJ Stroud, this team is god awful. They're done.
Go ahead, Ant. You're starting.
I agree with Alex. They got a banged up Nico Collins. He is going to play. They just lost the other receiver, Tank Dell. Dalton Schultz is coming back.
Oh, wait! I have some breaking news. Antonio Brown just graduated from college, Central Michigan University. He's got a degree. I don't know in what, but he's got a degree, as you were.
Is that from within the confines of a jail cell, or
you know what? Listen, they do a lot of things behind bars this year. You know,
he's a free man.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you noticed that my wife's wearing her brown shirt.
Oh, there you go.
You know?
There it is.
Unison.
Just won today. Aaron Rodgers will play next week.
Yeah, I think we knew that.
Well, it's official though. Take him on the IR. He's on IR.
Thanks for the update, guy.
We can't even see in the shade. Do you like a peeping
That's
Tom?
Good.
All right, Tennessee Titans are gonna be winning today's game. Ruin the Texans' chances of winning, getting in the playoffs, I think. And what's funny about what Tennessee today that Brian didn't mention is that they're doing a 100% troll job on the Houston Texans and the city of Houston today by wearing their Oilers uniforms.
Nice, I like that.
I love that part. For me, Ant, betting wise, DeAndre Hopkins over 6 catches today from the mayonnaise.
Love it.
We're going to see it. DeAndre Hopkins, a little DeAndre. And I also like 25.5. I see right here for Spears on rushing. A little bit 25.5. I like.
Yeah. I was going to say, I like DeAndre Hopkins plus 190 to score a touchdown. Him and Will Levis, they got something going on.
They do.
I think, and, I'm grabbing Tennessee minus 3.5 today.
Yo, I really like Will Levis, by the way.
Yeah,
I watched that Tennessee game simply because of him. Like, I'm being real. Like, I think he's got something, man. I really, really like him. Sorry for interrupting.
It's all good. Yeah, I got Tennessee, Bri.
Me as well.
Yeah, I think it should be a clean sweep, Tennessee. I don't know how you can vote. I don't know how you can put any money on the Texans unless you plan on losing it the rest of the year.
Well, you bet the under here, too. Under 38.5.
Yeah.
Drew has controversial opinions on this next game as the 5-8 New York Jets visit the 9-4, soon to be 9-8, apparently Miami Dolphins, laying 8 over under 36.5. Garrett Wilson needs just 4 catches the rest of the year to be the third Jet ever and have consecutive 80 reception seasons. Really? Tyreek Hill leads the NFL with 15, 42, and 12 touchdowns. And you know what? That's the exact amount of stats he's going to have going into next week because he is not playing today.
Yep.
He is inactive.
Which is going to lead to a second consecutive loss for the Dolphins.
Get him!
Did you watch that fucking offense without him? It was embarrassing, dude. Mike McDaniels is not a genius. He's a fucking moron, dude.
Whoa.
Absolutely. You built your entire offense around a wide receiver.
He's pretty good.
And then you can't scheme. You're some genius and you can't scheme when this guy goes down, when you essentially have a younger, not as fast version of him in the same offense in Jalen Waddle? What is wrong? No, dude, I'm tired of people being crowned geniuses when they have freak athletes. Tyreek Hill is one of one. There is no other guy like him in the NFL. And you design your offense around a dude that gets hit a lot and gets a lot of volume. You had to think he was going to miss a couple games this year. There's no way you didn't think he was not getting dinged up a little bit.
So what you're saying is that they didn't build their offense. He didn't build his scheme and his offense around Tua.
Absolutely not. Around Tyreek Hill only.
No,
Was that not obvious?
I want you to stay 100 on this, because if that's the case, Brian, when I say stay on 100, that means be real. If that's the case,
I thank you for the clarification.
I love you, Brian. I love Brian so much. If that's the case, and that's how we're feeling, right? And you don't want to give Mike McDaniel his flowers for what he's able to do, then you need to be 100%, because then that means that you don't think Tua is a good quarterback.
No, I think Tua is a good quarterback.
Then what's the problem? What's the problem? He's missing throws. He's missing throws on Monday, bro. Alex.
Agreed.
He's not playing good quarterback play if that's the case.
That's fine.
Then be real about it.
Nobody is perfect, bud. Have you watched?
He
Patrick
hasn't been
Mahomes
perfect all
this
year, but people want to put him in MVP conversation. Is he not?
Did I ever put him in an MVP conversation?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the world.
Right, but I don't. We know this. I don't agree with the world on 90% of views as far as football, because I actually watch tape from a place of having played the position at a higher level than 90% of the people watch.
No, you don't. You thought Joe Burrow was overrated.
No. I thought he was overrated because he had to leave Ohio State to get on the field.
You think Mike Evans is overrated?
Eagles have switched to Matt Patricia as their defensive play caller.
What?
I didn't know he was on the Eagles.
Yeah, I thought he was back in New England.
He was like a consultant. He was considered like
he was a consultant.
That's okay. Yeah. So they're super desperate. They've lost 2 in a row to 2 really good teams, and now we're gonna overreact.
Brian, that's like going from a pink slip hooker to a freaking worse hooker. Like Matt Patricia hasn't done shit. He's terrible.
Let's get that pencil, son. Let's get that pencil.
Yeah.
He's terrible. He's
Anyways,
only good at raping women and not getting crucified for it.
All right, let's get back to my point, right? So I do think Tua is a good quarterback.
James, come on.
But Mike McDaniel, Tyreek's obviously better, right? Tyreek's better at his position than Tua is at his position, right?
Yeah, of course.
And Mike understands that it's such a unique tool to have, weapon to have, that he mistakenly designed his offense around him instead of his quarterback, who is above average. I'm not going to say Tua is, a great of all time, because he's not, right?
Wolf of Wall Street, David Jones.
Anyways, I think it was embarrassing to watch that game last week after Tyreek went down. It was embarrassing. Were you guys? Did you guys not watch the same game that I watched?
Oh,
they were inept. They were inept offensively.
The Detroit Lions and the Miami Dolphins are almost considered the same thing in NFC, AFC. They're the same type of team. I give the Lions the edge because they beat contenders.
Well, Lions have a better defense. Not much, but a better defense. Especially without Jalen.
They've had injuries.
Jalen Phillips is the big story here, right?
Yeah, torn Achilles.
Because they were middle of the pack, low,
him and Bradley Chubb,
bottom 3 of the pack, and then they lost Jalen Phillips, and now they look like a high school defense. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The defense can't stop, a paper cup running through the hole. It's rough. So
Next game.
I think the Jets are in trouble because I think they
Wolf of Wall Street.
I think they win. I think the Jets win here. I think your boy Aaron Rodgers comes back.
Love you, buddy. All right. As a personal request from me, let's try our absolute best. I'll be the first one to screw up of watching our language as I have a guest behind me.
There he is.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
Sorry.
little
No, he just walked in. Brady.
What's up, little guy?
Brady, what's up,
Hi,
buddy?
world.
Hi, bud.
As you can see, he's wearing the proper shirt as well.
Go Rangers. Brady, go Rangers.
Flyers.
Yeah.
nipping at the
Flyers.
Rangers.
Flyers.
The Pens are better, but go Rangers.
They're really not.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They're actually very bad this year, and I
I
predict
know
them.
it's rough
Um,
for first time.
all right, next up.
In a long time.
Drew, you like picking upsets. The 8-5 Kansas City Chiefs are at the 3-10 New England Patriots, laying 8 and a hook over under 37. The Chiefs are 0-4 when allowing 21 points this season, which is fine because the Pats score 13, which is the worst since the 2011 Rams. Head to head, Bill Belichick is 7-4 all time against Andy Reid. He's about to be 7-5 because the Chiefs are going to go in there and bring out their belt, and they are going to just lay it thick on the Pats today.
This is going to be the reason that Drew loses in fantasy right here.
Because
I have Tyreek, I have Patrick Mahomes, and fucking Travis Kelce. He's done, dude. Travis is going to have 2 touchdowns at least in this game, probably 100 yards, and Patty's going to throw for probably 4 TDs. This is going to be rough, dude. He's going to turn off TV after this game and be like, I lost. It's over. Sorry. I'm 0-3 against Alex this year, like I was last year in fantasy football.
You done?
Matt,
You done?
Patricia.
The champ is here.
Let
The
me
champ
be
is
a
here.
realist here before I go to fantasy. I think the Chiefs definitely need this game, and why I say that is because they need to stay afloat of AC West. We talked about it earlier. Denver losing gives them a little bit of sight of relief because now they're not going to be on their asses. But whatever that Jolly Green Giant said, I don't care what he said, because in today's game, and Ant already alluded to this earlier, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I'll take the under on 37, and I definitely am not taking KC at 8.5. I think New England's defense is playing great football right now. They have nothing to lose, and I think Mahomes is going to struggle. He's already struggled this year. This is arguably his worst. Not arguably, this is his worst season ever as a quarterback, and it's not his fault entirely. There's no offensive weapons around him besides Kelce, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Give me 17-13 Kansas City.
I kind of agree, Drew. I think it's going to be a closer game than right now. It's actually moved up to 9.5 on FanDuel. So I'm gonna take that 9.5 and just have some faith in the Bill Belichick defense and a struggling Kansas City offense. I mean, let's face it, they can't find it right now. I mean, they got Kelce, who looks kind of showing his age right now, not getting too involved. I mean, last game was he came out and played a lot better than he's been. But Rice is starting to come along. But other than that, I mean, the Chiefs are struggling on offense. So I'm going to take this 9.5 points and give me the Pats. And I actually like Zeke today. I like Zeke to score, and I like Zeke over 50 rushing yards today. I think he's going to get a majority of carries and even some receptions.
Travis Kelce showing his age.
Yeah.
Could it
That's a
possibly?
fact, dude.
He's on the back.
That's a fact.
Could it possibly be that the guy is the only offensive weapon in the entire offense right now?
He was the same thing last year. He was the same thing last year.
Could it possibly
He was the same thing last year.
Watch every single play the guy's double, triple, and bracketed Can we be real? Can we
You
provide
know, you do know this is the most drops he's had ever in his career,
can
right?
we provide some real
Come on,
NFL
man.
film analysis here and
I
not
just
do
gave it
like
to you.
normal talking head show here?
I just
Watch
gave it
the
to you.
tape, guy.
I just gave it to you.
You didn't, man.
He has the most drops from a
Cool.
tight end this year.
Okay, great.
Okay, compare it to
most
last year.
drops.
Who do they have
Cool.
last year around him? Who do they have last year around him?
Valdez
Don't say Juju.
Scantling,
Don't say Juju.
Juju Schuster.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up. Look at their stats
Shut
in
up.
games that matter.
Shut up.
Let's
You're
look
tripping.
at them, bro.
You're tripping.
You're tripping, man.
You're tripping.
All right. We got 25 minutes for kickoff.
Let's go.
move
Pats
along
plus
here.
9.5.
No, I'm taking the Chiefs
Zeke.
all day, every day.
Zeke.
All right. The Tommy DeVito show continues for the New York Giants as they visit New Orleans, 5-8, bet 6-7. Saints -5 in this one, over under 39.5. Tommy DeVito is the first Giants quarterback with 3 straight wins and 100-plus passer rating since Eli Manning in 2014. It's been a minute. For the Saints, Olave leads them with 72 catches, 918, 4 touchdowns. Saints aren't that good. I got to tell you, 5 seems high to me in this game because the Giants have been playing better. They won 3 straight. Saints are very up and down. And even the ups aren't that high, right? They're not that up when they're up. I think Giants in this game. I'll take Giants with the points. I think this is like a field goal game, and I would lean that way, which is really like the Giants have found a way to completely screw up their draft pick. God bless them, but they have.
Is Winston starting this game for New Orleans?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
No, Carr is.
Okay, so Olave's out.
Yes.
Right. Carr's a train wreck
He's
this
out.
year. This kid, this local Italian kid, DeVito, who America's in love with now, right? Especially New Yorkers. I think the Giants win again. I really do. If I was laying significant money on this game, it would be on the Giants. I would take the Giants without a doubt. I don't think New Orleans is going to make the playoffs in that horrible division. I think they're all going to stumble. I think the Bucs lose today. I think it's going to be like whoever wins one game out of these next 3-4 weeks for these teams, that's going to end up winning that division. That's how putrid it is.
I agree. I'm grabbing the +5 here, taking the Giants. I like a Saquon anytime touchdown. You're getting them at plus value here, +110, +105. They're giving him tons of touches. He's really all they got. So I'm grabbing the 5 here. Give me the hot Giants.
Giants, easy. Going
Oh,
Giants.
I really do lean that way. And to Josh, keep winning. I don't care. Good for you.
Yeah.
Stick with Danny Dimes. You know what? Start this kid next year. I don't even care. Last of the 1 p.m.
It's
game.
not like that's gonna care.
The 6-7 Atlanta Falcons at the 1-12 Panthers. Atlanta laying just 3. Over-under is just 32.5 points. Drake London needs 6 receptions to pass Julio Jones for the most catches in the first 2 years in Atlanta history, which blows my mind when I saw that number.
Yeah, because we don't talk about Drake London like that, right?
No.
So, like, for him to be on Julio's level in the first 2, that's very impressive to me.
No, we don't. Carolina is a robust offense averaging 15.2 points per game and 270 yards, which rank 30th in the NFL. There are 32 teams.
That much? That's impressive.
Yeah.
They're getting at least 2 touchdowns a game. That's crazy to me.
Why is Atlanta only a 3-point favorite in this game? Why aren't they a 7-point favorite in this game?
Brian,
Ritter's their quarterback.
I get it, but it's Carolina. Go ahead.
Brian, 84% of the bets, public bets, are on the Falcons. 64% of the money is on the Panthers, +3.
Yep.
Right now, it's -2.5 on FanDuel. Take the Panthers. Think about that. 84% of the public bets are on the Falcons. 64% of the money is on the Panthers, and the line's not even at 3.
The fix is in, man. The fix is in.
And it's bad weather. They're saying very bad weather down there. So
The fix is in. Who's playing quarterback for the Panthers?
The Young.
Is he back?
Yeah. He's never won anywhere.
Come on, Mr. Real
No,
Tape.
he was hurt. He was hurt.
He's fine.
He just stinks. They just stink.
Hey.
Brian,
fishy.
give me Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta on this one, obviously. Put him at 7-7. It's going to be a close game, though. Division game. Yeah, we don't talk enough about Drake London. I think you'll start getting more talks as the off season comes. As we get into fantasy football next year, I think he's going to be one of the top picks. Also, Bijan Robinson. I got Bijan Robinson over 14.5 carries. I'm taking the 14.5 more for Bijan. Also, one more thing I'd like to add into this is that regardless of what happens after this week, I already said Atlanta's not going to make the playoffs. They don't have a quarterback. This is another team that we have to look out for in the offseason that could be in potential trade talks with Chicago Bears.
Absolutely.
With Justin Fields.
Chicago
And
Bears.
also, I give them an outside chance of them if that doesn't fall through, and what I think is the Pittsburgh Steelers do trade for Justin Fields. I do think that, and one of my bold predictions, I think Atlanta is going to be in the sweepstakes for Kirk Cousins. That's about it.
I think her cousin stays.
Why wouldn't
He might.
Atlanta?
You might.
Why wouldn't Atlanta just trade away a draft pick and one of their stars, Drake London or freaking the tight end?
Carolina
Now
tried that, didn't work.
I'm blanking on to Chicago for Justin Fields.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to offer more.
Wow. Not only is Matt Patricia the new defensive play caller, they have moved this. He's not the defensive coordinator anymore.
What do you mean? They fired him?
No, role change.
Oh my God. What is going on?
He's running the show.
The Seahawks tomorrow night.
These are the kind of breaking news you only get on the sports box.
I don't understand what Philly's doing. I'm not making a move to Matt Patricia.
This is not a panic move at all, right?
No, it's a panic move for sure.
I'm being
I know. I'm adding on to the sarcasm.
They play Seahawks this week, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm taking the
This
Seahawks.
is crazy.
This on top of the film. Did you watch the film where they were having Jalen Hurts fall down in practice and smacking him with the freaking?
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
Listen, I'm taking the Seahawks because of this. Man, good Lord. That's embarrassing, man.
Okay, hold on. Keep talking because I'm putting this up on the page.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I don't know what's going on in Philly, man. I have no idea, and I think everything started to fall down from within when Shane left, and then I guess we should give more credit to Gannon for going into Arizona, be the head coach of Arizona, because this is embarrassing, man. Like I would not make this move.
For a team that still controls their own destiny, like win out, and you have an easier schedule than anybody you're competing with.
They're a 10-win football team.
Not just that, but all they have to do is literally win out.
Yeah.
And they win the division. Like, how hard is that to understand?
But then they had the wild. But I think it's, I don't know. Maybe it's expectations because they went to the Super Bowl last year. They've improved the team. They, in their minds, offensively and defensively, which I don't think they did, heading into the season. And their expectations, Alex, is always going to rule over a 10-win team. We saw it a couple years ago with Pittsburgh. I mean, you know it. The AC North, the Cleveland Browns beat Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card round. That was a faulty 11-0 team. That wasn't a contender. And I understand
what you're saying. I just feel like Philly's more talented than they were last year. Talent.
I don't think they are at all.
I don't think they are.
Where?
I do.
Their secondary got worse, Alex. Their secondary got worse.
Their
linebacker, old.
Their linebacker they got rid of has over 140 tackles for the
Yeah.
Bears.
People that actually do tape understand that.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so I have a big decision to make in fantasy this week, and it involves this game.
Talk to me.
The 4-9 Washington Commanders at the 6-7 Rams, who are laying 6.5. The over/under is 50. Washington has the worst scoring total and pass defense in the league. The Rams, top
But
3
their
in points.
quarterback has like the 3rd most yards thrown. I mean, they got to be good, right?
Check the weather, Brian.
Yeah, well, hold on. It's indoors. Rams,
I'm sorry. Yeah, Rams.
top 3 in points per game, total yards per game, and rushing yards per game since week 12.
No,
I am in a playoff matchup. And I have to decide who to start at quarterback, Matthew Stafford or Dak Prescott.
Dak's playing Buffalo. Stafford's playing Washington.
Yeah, you put Stafford, no
Yeah,
doubt,
I'm gonna put Stafford
without
there.
a question. Pukanua
Dak has
and
gotten
Cup,
me to this point.
yeah, but it's not about getting to this point. It's
I
about winning at
understand
this
that.
point.
It is a massive.
There's no
I am very
loyalty
struggling
in
with this
fantasy
decision.
football.
Brian, I go with something that someone taught me back in the day. You go with who you got you there.
Yeah.
So if you feel Dak is the reason why you're there,
He wants
go
you to
with Dak.
lose, Brian. Don't listen to him, dude.
He doesn't want me to lose
because he's
It's
about
what
to get
this league.
smoked this week, and he doesn't want you to.
What
he
does
wants
that
you
have to
lose,
do
dude.
with Brian's decision?
He wants you to commiserate with him about losing. dude.
What does
I'm
that have to
telling
do
you
with
right
Brian's
now.
decision?
Matthew Stafford.
So again, now
It's not even close.
I
You
also
trust Buffalo secondary?
I trust Buffalo, which has a better defense than the Commanders do.
No argument
The
there.
Commanders have traded away everybody but their defensive coordinator. I'm good. I'm taking Matthew Stafford.
They want to
against
trade him too, Alex. They want to trade him too.
I
think
know. I hear the
They can't get rid of
Chargers are
Riverboat
looking
Ron.
for a
I
new
think it might not
defensive
matter.
coordinator.
I think it's probably not going to matter. I think they're both going to be fine. The reason I'm probably going to leave Dak in is so that when he loses me a playoff game, I can hate him even more.
Oh my. The hate that you have for that man.
He said it's going to be raining. Rain's not my problem. Wind is my problem. Anthony.
Yes.
Stafford for sure is going to be raining in Buffalo Dallas game. Oh, you know what? Hey, Brian, they're in Buffalo. I forgot about that.
They are in Buffalo.
Go
Right.
Stafford. Go Stafford. Go Stafford.
Yeah.
Go Stafford.
Yeah. Stafford.
Yeah, go Stafford.
I don't know if I can, because then it's going to be one of those things where I don't know.
What do you mean?
Comments coming in.
What do you mean?
Comments coming in. You know,
It's Stafford. It's like not even a question.
You're acting like Dak's not having a good year fantasy wise.
Dak's having a great year in fantasy. But he also just won 2 huge games. Well, 3 huge games, I should say. It's time for a letdown game. I'm not saying that he like implodes, but Dak is on my bench if I have those 2 choices. Just because of the matchups. It's not.
Yeah, Buffalo has a lot to play for today too. So.
Right. If Dak was playing the Commanders, it's Dak.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm going Stafford. I'm going Stafford.
It's not even close. Pukanua Cup is hitting stride now.
but I'll give it. But let me give it to you this way. Washington's. I don't know. Buffalo's going to score points, right? So they're going to have to keep going back and forth.
Okay.
That could easily be like a 35-35 type game, which means Dak's going to throw a lot.
It could.
I don't know, man. That's
Dak could get strip sack fumbled 3 times because that defensive line is really good for Buffalo. Buffalo's a top 10 defense. Where do the Commanders rank? 32nd.
You guys are like really ruining my prize picks right now. Just
right,
make a decision, Brian. Just pick a guy and roll with it. Who you picking?
I'm going to pick a guy at 4:00. I got 2 hours to think about.
Then you're good.
They're both at 4. We'll see how my game's going. I like the Rams in this game by more than 6.5. It should not be close. Washington sinks. Floor is yours.
You just said you like the Rams by more than 6.5. That answers your question right there. Your
but that could also mean 14-0. Okay, so
I like the Rams too, Brian. Give me the Rams by a touchdown and a long shot, plus 1,000 for Puka Nacua to score 2 touchdowns today.
Rams.
What?
I have Puka and I have Puka on that. So that team has Lamb and Puka as well.
Plus 1,000 for 2 touchdowns. I like that. Sprinkle material there.
Moving on.
Yeah, I got Rams. Move on.
Yeah, Rams
are
without a
going to
doubt.
beat the Niners are going to beat the Cardinals today. They're a 12-point favorite. The over is 48.5. Purdy leads the NFL in completion percentage and passing yards per attempt and rating. good system that he's in. Arizona's averaging 17.7 points per game, just under 300 yards per game, both 26th in the NFL. Is anybody going to make me a case why this is even a close game?
Nope.
I think the game starts off close. First quarter, second quarter, maybe. Niners pull away. Give me the Niners to -12.
This is the only reason Drew has a slight chance to beat me, because I think Purdy's going to probably have 50 points.
CMC over 1.5 touchdowns, receiving or rushing. Take the over.
I remember someone had Jordan Mason +500 to score anytime touchdown last week. I remember that.
Oh, really?
I gave that out on the sports box. I did. Second play of the game, he scores.
All right, probably game of the day. We're talking about it. 10-3 Dallas at 7-6 Buffalo. Buffalo's laying 2. The over/under is 49. Dak Prescott has career highs this year in completion percentage and passer rating. Allen leads the league in touchdowns and giveaways. Giveth, taketh away. I do think the way it breaks down, I know it's stupid, but I think Buffalo needs the game less than Dallas does. Buffalo can still get in. Buffalo can still wear their division with a loss here. Dallas needs to keep pace with the two other juggernauts in the NFC, not even counting Detroit. So I think the Cowboys find a way to sneak this one out in very un-Cowboy-like fashion because they need it more. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a blowout by any means, but I think Dallas does find a way to win it at the end. The Bills do tend to screw things up at the end of games. Look for Deron Bland to have 2 picks of Josh Allen today.
Yeah, man, this game is going to be tough. It's at Buffalo. As you can see, Cowboys need this game. Buffalo needs the game. Both teams need this game. We made the argument earlier that, Buffalo's could lose this game. Miami wins, but Buffalo will still have a chance to catch them in the race, the AFC East title. This is a really tough game to pick. I don't know why this is in the Sunday night game. But here we are. If I had to pick, which I'm going to right now, I'm going to go Buffalo just because it's in Buffalo. And I think Buffalo needs this game just a little bit more than the Dallas Cowboys. I think Eagles are going to lose on Monday night. And let's go with Buffalo, John. I think they're going to win it more. I think they're very evenly matched. If you look at all phases of the game and all positions of the game, I like Dallas's offensive line more than Buffalo, but I like Buffalo's linebacking core a little bit more than I do like Cowboys. Secondary, I would go Cowboys, but it's just a tough one, man. I think the Buffalo Bills really need this after beating Kansas City last week in a really emotional game. I think Buffalo their eyes are set on sweeping the rest of the season. So it starts again tonight. This is their playoffs. Buffalo 8-6.
I like the points here, Brian. I mean, I'm not really going to mess with the game. I like the over at 49. I think there's going to be some points scored here tonight. Touchdown props. I like Josh Allen anytime touchdown. I like Jake Ferguson anytime touchdown. I think there's going to be some points scored in this game. So give me those two and give me the over at 49.
I'm going with the Cowboys. I think it's a close game, but like I always do in these situations, I take the best quarterback as the winner, and Dak is the best quarterback in this matchup currently. Now, I'm tired of playing this game with Josh Allen about potential. I'm tired of it, man. The guy makes terrible mistakes all the time. Yeah, cool. He's leading the league in touchdowns. He's also damn close to leading the league in giveaways.
He is. He's tied for the lead.
That's what I mean. So that's ugly, dude. When you're 35-17, that's despicable as a quarterback. We destroyed Jameis Winston for a similar stat line with 30-30, right? Like, this is bad. This is ugly. He's playing the worst football of his career as far as turnovers. What, man?
Gino's out. Just want to throw it out there. Gino's out.
Game time decision, I heard.
He's out. He ain't playing.
Oh, Geno Smith?
He's out.
Geno Smith is out?
That's a
Geno
bad
Smith
injury.
is out?
Yeah, he's going to be out.
Oh, Seahawks lose terribly then. Anyways,
Jalen Hurts doesn't play. Jalen Hurts doesn't play.
Why wouldn't Jalen Hurts play?
He's questionable. Sick.
He's sick.
Oh, I hope they
Sunday
don't have that
night.
72-hour bug I had, man. That shit was ugly.
10-3 Ravens at the 8-5 Jags. Baltimore laying 3.5. Over-unders 41.5. Baltimore. Jackson leads Baltimore and all quarterbacks with 644 yards rushing. The Jags defense has been an underrated part of that team with 24 takeaways. They do lead the NFL. Trevor Lawrence is supposed to play. This is a game where, the reason that the Cowboys Bills wasn't flex because this is a big matchup in the AFC. Big matchup in the AFC. And I think that, again, both teams really need this, and that's why it's so hard to pick, right?
Nah,
this is basically telling me that the Jags would be a 9.5-point dog in Baltimore.
Listen,
that would be high.
This is easy. Trevor Lawrence just got fucking outplayed by fucking 84-year-old Flacco.
Language.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry, Braden. Anyways, Trevor Lawrence just got outplayed by 84-year-old Joe Flacco. If you don't think that Lamar Jackson is going to outplay him, you're bananas, dude. I would take the Ravens, and I would probably say they win by 10 points. Like, I don't even think this game's close. I think this is a blowout.
Yeah, it's Ravens for me. I'll let Ant go real quick. I don't need to speak about the game that much. It's Ravens for me easily. It's a blowout tonight. And Ravens and Brian, Ravens are that catapults them to the number 1 seed, especially if Kansas City loses today. I think they might just one more week they have to win because we'll have a 2-game lead on them.
The only loss the Ravens have
behind them. I mean, there's other teams that are behind them.
The only loss the Ravens have in recent memory is to the Browns, and we had to get really lucky and kick a field goal at the last second to win the game. The Ravens are the best, most consistent team all year long. We just were mesmerized by Philly's luck and keep winning and winning and winning. The Ravens are the best team in football right now. They're just not getting the credit because a lot of people don't think Lamar Jackson is as good as he is. They are. I don't care. I mean, well, the 49ers, okay, maybe, but they're the best team in the AFC without a doubt. How about that? Do you like that better?
Go ahead, Ant.
I'm high on the Ravens. I think they're a very good team. I do think this is going to be a closer game. I'm going to take the 3.5. I'm going to grab that half point with the Jags. If the Ravens win, I think it's going to be a 3-point game. Give me the Jags plus 3.5. That's how I'm rolling with this game. It's going to be a good one. Hey, listen, fantasy-wise, I don't have any other options. I got the Ravens running backs, Gus Edwards or Mitchell.
You got to go with Mitchell because Mitchell's getting more
workload.
The only reason you would take Edwards is because if they're short yardage, Edwards is in the game for touchdowns.
True.
But it's boom or bust with Edwards. I have Edwards. Trust me.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have a choice now. I was starting A.J. Dillon, even in a backup role, over him. But now that Dillon's out, I moved Gus into my starting lineup because I don't have another choice.
Because you had to.
So you got to go with Mitchell. He's going to be more consistent. Edwards might outscore him, but it's going to be like maybe by a point.
Yeah.
I think Mitchell is better consistency, right?
That's who I got in. I mean, Gus Edwards, two touchdown dependent. So I need someone that's going to do more. So, I put Mitchell in. I just wanted to hear what you guys thought.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, the Monday night game, which could feature 2 backup quarterbacks. The 10-3 Eagles, 6-7 Seahawks. Eagles laying 3. Last I checked, that might be changing. Over/unders 48. Jalen Hurts needs 1 rushing touchdown to match his total from last year. Seattle is 7-0 against the Eagles under Pete Carroll, including the playoffs. The team Seattle has only lost once to Philadelphia since December of 2002. So the Seahawks have generally owned the Eagles. This is going to be a very interesting game because, again, you don't know who's playing quarterback for each team. Geno Smith probably sounds like he's not going to play. Jalen Hurts might not play. Matt Patricia's now calling plays for a panicking Eagles team. I mean, there's a lot going on here.
Darius plays out.
I'd love to see the Seahawks win this game. I don't think they do.
No, not without Geno. Their chances are in the tank without Geno because even with a backup of Jalen Hurts, their weapons, their defense, their offense is better. Because who's throwing Metcalf and Lockett and Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll take the Eagles with the security guard that's suspended for the rest of the year at quarterback over
DeVito.
I don't
over
listen,
Locke as the
Dom,
quarterback.
big Dom.
If it's Locke versus Mariota, I'm taking Locke because Mariota is horrible.
That's
And right
fine.
now-
All they got to do is run the ball.
But listen, all you got to do is pass the ball against the Eagles. I love DK Metcalf in this game. I think he's going to eat up the Eagles secondary if he
With
can
Locke at quarterback, he's got to hit him in. He's got to hit him in his hands.
Did you see last week's game against the Niners? I mean, he came out and started playing well. He kept them in the game for a little bit. So
If you would do your tape, you would know that.
Oh,
yeah,
here
I
we
mean,
go.
DK Metcalf is cooking against an Eagles defense, defensive secondary. You don't have Slay, so I mean
that might actually hold on. That might actually help them.
So
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. I don't know about the quarterback situation here, but it's tough to make the call.
But if
I like
Jalen Hurts is starting, there's no chance you take Seahawks.
no, I'm staying away from the
okay.
game. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, you're not betting this game. I'm not betting this game.
No,
Not betting this game, not touching this game. But if I had a pick and with everything going on and everything internally going on with Philly, bunch of distractions in the weekend. Darius Slay's podcast episode yesterday caused a lot of attention of concern, and I think that's why they made the move they did. Philly, too many distractions. I'm with Ant. I'm going with Seattle if Jalen Hurts plays or not. I'm going with Seattle to shock the world tomorrow night, and they need it for the playoff run. And dude, sky's the limit. And I think Seattle with Geno, with Drew Lock, I think a healthy dose of a rushing attack between Charbonnet and Walker is going to open up a lot of things. I know that front is disgusting for Philly, but that linebacking core and that secondary is trash. So let's go with Seattle and let's go with DK.
Well, okay. Backup quarterbacks cover. Drew Lock's going to play. How about that? Right. So I just want to close the show with just one thing that is interesting to me that I just saw on the Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. This is a shot of Carolina 20 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, that's about right.
Hey,
I would have. Go ahead.
Did you see something on? I saw some on Twitter that their tickets were going for less than $1.
$4. Yeah. There are more people watching this show right now than at this football game. There are more people on this show right now than watching this football game.
I'm surprised there's anybody in there.
Just
I want to say something about this, and it might be controversial, but I don't give a shit.
All right.
And is Brandon still there? Sorry, Bray.
He's playing his switch. He's all right.
It's time for the NFL to start looking at other cities that don't have teams, and I'm sorry, other states that don't have teams. I'm sick and tired of so many teams being in the same state. It's time to make a change. There's healthy, live people that are energetic about football that could impact millions if you go put them in their cities. I'm not going to say the cities today because I have to do a little bit more research, but I mean like the Midwest states that don't have anything. I think you can make a big killing.
Place I could think.
I think you can make a big killing in just like in Oklahoma City. You can make a big killing NFL in there. I'm just saying, like the Jacksonville Jaguars, their stadiums are always empty. Even the game last year against the Chargers.
What city would you put a team in right now that doesn't have one?
The Birmingham Boulders. Like, what are you gonna? I don't understand.
I would have to think. I mean, you would have to study. I mean, Salt Lake
City's the only place I can think
big
of.
Town.
But that's the only place.
I went to a Jazz game. It's huge.
But that's the only place I could think of, like off the top of my head, that doesn't already have a team. Because you're not putting them in the middle of Idaho or Wyoming or North Dakota, South Dakota, places like that. There's no.
All right. I'm going to give you the top metros in the U.S. of population size, right? New York has 2 teams. L.A. has 2 teams. Chicago has no teams. Dallas has a team. Houston's got a team. Washington's got a team. Philly's got a team. Atlanta's got a team. Miami's got a team. Phoenix has a team. Boston has a team. Riverside, California. We're not doing that. San Fran's got a team. Detroit's got a team. Seattle's got a team. Minneapolis has a team. Tampa's got a team. San Diego. But that would really be upset for you. Denver, Baltimore. The place you put a team is St. Louis.
Oh, yeah. That's another one.
Yeah, you go back to St. Louis, but why did they leave? So that's another thing. You know what I mean?
It's like the city wouldn't give them a stadium.
So you think they're going to give him a new one?
Honolulu's not till 55 ranked. I got way more before I get to Honolulu.
Yeah.
They were Austin, Texas. They were talking about Portland. Don't see that. Charlotte's got this team. Charlotte's 23rd. San Antonio, Portland, Pittsburgh, Austin, Sacramento, Vegas, Cincinnati, Kansas City, Columbus, Cleveland, Indy, Nashville, San Jose, Virginia Beach, Jacksonville, Providence, Rhode Island.
Those two cities that you brought up, though, because I've been to I've been to Utah quite a few times.
Yeah,
I've been to Oklahoma City quite a few times. There's enough in those two cities, and then you add St. Louis. That's the third. So St. Louis, so Missouri has no teams, right? Oklahoma has no teams.
So you're going to move the Panthers, the Jaguars. Who's the third team you're going to move?
Oh, I'm not moving the Panthers. I keep the Panthers there. They don't have a team.
You just saw that stadium.
Yeah, that's because they're not winning. So you got to go to a city that doesn't care about winning or losing. They're going to show up every week.
Outside of Cleveland, who's doing that?
The Jets.
New York, they can't get their tickets away either. Put a third team in New York.
Oh yeah, Kansas City's in Missouri. Duh, stupid me.
Yeah, but St. Louis is still a good spot.
Yeah, I know.
You know where I would put a team if it were me? It's not me. Toronto.
Yeah, Kansas.
Yeah, Toronto.
The
You
Blue Jays
probably
out, right?
Toronto would fill a building.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, because Raptors games are always
the CFL is a CFL, but anyway. All right, guys, we're a little bit over today, but thank you for watching Week 15. Hope you win your fantasy matchups. Hope I win mine, God forbid.
I'm winning mine, so
make
it's
sure,
already over.
Make sure you try to win some money today. We'll catch you next week for Week 16. On behalf of the boys, a special guest Alex jumping on. We appreciate that, of course. And let's go.
What an idiot talking about that. I'm glad you're talking about yourself, bud. It's good, man.
That's funny. All right, boys. See ya.
They're down.
Peace.
Bolt up.